secret now. I see dead people.
Welcome to Blondes and Booze. You are about to embark on a journey, one that often leads to more questions than answers. But fear not, your host, Krista, Aaron, and Brandy have the experience, the perseverance, and yes, even the gifts to pull back the veil and allow us to glimpse the other side. They will share not only their experiences, but will introduce you to world-renowned researchers and experiencers to help you find answers in the murky waters of what we call the paranormal. Their bonds with each other reach far beyond friendship, resulting in a pull no punches approach to the many subjects they explore. Their goal? To open eyes, hearts, and even minds to what lies on the other side, and the answers residing there.
Hey everybody, welcome.
Hi.
This is
and there he is.
There he is. Hello,
Maybe.
wake up here, Tex.
I was working on something.
Hey, look,
I don't
you
think
called
I'm going
this
to be able
meeting.
to pull off.
Yeah, this show is your idea.
Yeah, you called this meeting here.
I didn't look at this, falling to pieces.
He's got a groove.
I didn't even
He wasn't
groom
ready.
for
Oh, Lord.
You guys are funny. Let's do some shout outs real quick. We got Midwest Night Watchers. Hello. Freaky Geek. Good to see ya. And Crystal J. And Glenn Dannison. Thanks for joining us. Melissa. Hello. From Cincinnati, she says. Hello.
All right.
Maggie M10. Paranormal Pixie. Hello. Roger Blair. And Paula Yu. Hello. How are you? And there we go. Small crowd.
Hey, it's a surprise. It's a surprise. When people figure it out, they'll come on over. They'll come over to the good chat.
There you go. There you go. How are you guys tonight?
I have been lazy all day. I couldn't get motivated. I got up this early this morning and then I put out that little 5-minute video about angel numbers and what was getting me. Well, let me tell you this little story. So there is this lady that sells crystals and she's online and I watch her. She does shows. And you enter your name in a raffle when you share it out and blah blah blah. So I did that. And so I'm going through it and watch the whole show. Finally, at the end of the show, she says, okay, the winner is number 4. Number 4. It was me.
And
that was
your
me.
Angel numbers that you've been seeing is 4.
My angel numbers was 444. And I'm like, well, you know what? This can't be it. I'm like, it can't be 444 just so I could win a sphere, right? So I'm like, okay, what kind of sphere did I win? So it's called a spherolite.
Cool.
And a spherolite is used for grounding, help dispel negativity, to keep yourself grounded. And I thought, well, my whole message this morning and my high hopes just got dashed. It's like telling me I need to focus on this particular crystal because I still need some grounding and I still need to get negativity away from me. So there it is. It was kind of like my spirit guides are saying, hey, no, that's not what we were saying. Let's make it more clear for you. Okay. So they said, win this and then look this up. And then, okay, now we can carry on. So I got the message. Thank you very much.
Your spirit guides are on a manhunt for you.
Well, they're not. They're telling me I need to stay grounded, stay focused, because the path that I'm on is good. And, and just to use this particular crystal to dispel negativity so it doesn't attract it to me. It's kind of like hematite. It's got the same thing as hematite. So I'm like,
gotcha.
So now I'm back to square one, but it's saying I'm on my right path and I need to stay focused and stay grounded. So I'm like, okay.
Awesome. Very cool. How are you?
I think you need to have a little conversation with your spirit guide and say, look, direct me to a damn crystal that'll help my freaking internet service. That's what you need to do.
I know. I was like, the only thing that I do with the rock and my internet service is beat my router or with it. And, that's about it.
What I don't know why this image popped in my head, but I see Brandy. Okay, y'all remember watching ID4 Independence Day, where they're up on top of the building and those guys got the mothership and he's twirling around and everybody's dancing and shit. That's what I picture you doing, trying to get internet service.
I'm standing outside. Hello.
Well, remember back in the days, the TVs had the rabbit ears, and you put the foil on it.
I need some.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, they said that the cell phone boosters that I've looked at and, I've been kind of eyeballing, they have those basically. They have them. I'm like, well, okay. So we're not advanced as we thought we were, but okay.
No. That's funny. How are you, Tex?
You know what? I am a lot better than I was a day ago.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
It was a little bit rocky. Yeah, let's just go that route.
It's like yesterday. I don't want to repeat. Thank you very much.
No,
it's over.
I'm done.
It's done.
In the rearview mirror. And I know I see Donnie Cho's in chat. I know he's in mourning. I am too. Because if Donnie's anything like me, he wants to have me and Randy on a show and we talk wrestling. The great Terry Funk died Wednesday. Hardcore legend. I actually had the opportunity to watch him wrestle live when I was a kid. I just want to acknowledge that. And Bob Barker died.
Yes.
And
we were coming. I was in the car earlier when we were all texting, and my sister-in-law says, I don't know where. I think she got it off Facebook. She goes, can't believe Bob Barker came as close to $1 as you can without going over.
Yep.
He did. Bless his heart. Well, who's the other wrestler that had just passed away? Was it Wyatt Bray? Was that
Bray Wyatt?
name?
Bray Wyatt. Yeah.
Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt died?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
And
kidding.
they said it was a heart attack, I think. That's what they said.
That I can believe. I did not hear about Bray Wyatt.
I had heard that what I read is that he was suffering from long-term COVID symptoms and he had a heart attack. So
yeah, and he was not old.
I think he was 36 or 39 or something like that.
Yeah.
He was born in 1987, folks.
Yeah, that's young. A lot younger than us, all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just looking at it now. Jeez Louise. Didn't know.
Yeah,
36 years old.
Yeah, he was young.
Jeez.
And good old Bob Barker, man.
99.
I know. You know, The Price is Right was never the same when he left. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
No,
No, not at
no.
all.
I mean, there's Drew Carey on there now, and
I'm not a fan.
I'm not either. It's just not the same. Can't do it. Just
nobody's a fan. Let me just put this out there. Nobody's a fan of the skinny Drew Carey. It's just not.
we like the plump Drew Carey, okay?
Right.
The plump one.
Yeah.
What are y'all going to do when you lose the fluffy text?
We'll put pillows under your shirt. We'll put pillows under there.
Right. That's it.
Because we're already losing the fluffy Jason.
Yeah, I know.
That
He
man
has lost so much weight.
He has lost over 70 pounds. Oh, I think 80 pounds now.
That's fantastic.
Wow. Then he's even smaller than when I saw him back in, when did I go down there? May?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
Crazy.
yeah.
That's fantastic, though.
You know, if we could kill off the politicians like we do wrestlers, we'd be in pretty good shape in this country. Just say it.
Yeah. True
I'm
story.
not going to say anything because I'm just going to say some of them just won't die. They won't.
Yeah.
They're going to live forever.
Yeah.
I think they wake up
and now.
I think they wake up and get a daily dose of formaldehyde or something when they.
Hooter Transport says it in honor of Bob Barker. Don't forget to spay and neuter your politicians.
You got it. That's it.
I love it.
That's pretty good.
I love it.
Pretty good. So we got coming up next week.
I don't get political. I don't.
Yeah.
No.
Because I ain't that guy, right?
Right.
I'm not going to lose friends over what side of the aisle you're on or anything like that. I think that is the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Because I'm a vet. Mm-hmm. We fought. My dad was a World War II vet. My uncles were in World War II.
Yeah, my dad's a veteran. Yep.
Okay. So, and folks, if you're acting this way, I'm just going to say this. If you're acting that way and you lose a friendship over them being on a different side of the aisle than you are, you're disgracing what we fought for.
Right.
Because we fought for that choice.
Absolutely.
So, and in my mind, that is a slap to the face.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just putting it out there. Love me or hate me, whatever. I don't care. But that's my stance on it. And that's as political as I'll get.
All right.
There you go.
Let's move on. We got a conference coming on next weekend or this weekend. Technically this weekend. It's kind of almost the end of this week, right?
Chris is like, shut up. Let's talk about something good.
I don't want to be shut down. We worked so hard to get to where we're at.
Well, I'm keeping you out of hot water. Don't worry about it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Trust me, if anybody's learned to dance around that crap, it's me.
Oh, I know. I know.
Yeah, because you can't get us in trouble on Monday nights no more.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which hopefully we'll be able to take care of that in the middle of next month. So, but yeah, let's talk about the conference, man. I'm excited about this. Oh, we got so many people coming down.
Well, look at the lineup, and you are listed on it.
Yes, ma'am, I am. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't know what can't remember what the other topics are that everybody's talking about. Mm-hmm. Mine is cryptids up close and personal.
Cool.
So there will be evidence shown. I ain't going to show no red circles. I ain't going to show no blurry bushes. But I'm going to go over, my account. And I want to open it up to the audience too, because even if you can get a show of hands, that kind of breaks the ice on people, if you can make them feel comfortable, because you're standing up in front of, 400 something people.
Right.
And you look, I'm in my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
My reputation's on the line.
Right.
And, fortunately, it's already shot, so we don't have to worry much about it. But I will say this. And it's unfortunate, because you really, really have to choose carefully who you talk to about it in your everyday life. In these circles, like on your channel and mine and Rob's and Jason's and Donnie's and Bob's and everybody's that we run with, you're not going to be ostracized. You're not going to be picked on. You're not going to be, and honestly, if we see it happening, we won't stand for it.
Right.
So I might not agree with you, and I might say I disagree with you.
Right.
But don't mean we can't be friends.
That's right. That's right. Donnie Cho says, I'm going to the conference, but I'm not looking forward to it. Jason told me I have to sit there and sell merch.
Well, and talk to people, Donnie. You got to talk to people.
Yeah. Yep.
The thing is, we're going to let Donnie say a bunch of stuff.
That's it. He should be really good at that.
Yeah.
Well, and I tell you this, if there are people around, we'll make them go talk K-pop to them, and he'll be fine. He'll be absolutely fine then.
There you go.
I'm going to say this, because I'm escorting. I'm not going to say I'm taking you. I'm escorting everybody out after the dinner. Okay. The place we're meeting, and I don't care who knows. More the merrier. The place we're meeting is called the White Elephant Saloon. Okay. This is an historic stockyards, north side of Fort Worth. Leave the K-pop at home.
I'm going to put a cowboy hat on him is what we're going to do.
There you go. There you go. It's going to be a good time. Looking forward to it.
Now, I don't know. Cowboy Bop may be popular down there nowadays. I don't know.
It may be. No, I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know what? Did I miss something?
Yeah, talking about K-pop, maybe cowboy K-pop. You don't know.
No, there's a band called Cowboy Bop.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I think it's a band, or is it a show? See, I don't know.
I have no idea, Tex.
I guarantee you Donnie will correct me, or somebody will.
But I can Google it. What's it called?
Cowboy Bop.
Cowboy Bob?
Bop. B-O-P.
Okay. Cowboy Bob. Because it's a Japanese animated series. It's a movie.
There you go.
There we go.
You got to bring up what Donnie said.
Let's see here. He says, what are you talking about, my friend? Jason's taking me on my first Bigfoot hunt. K-pop is my primary weapon against those hairy beasts.
I'll tell you this. You're gonna be damn lucky to get him out of the truck. as hot as it is down here.
Hey. Yeah. Well, I understand that. I will get out. Or I'll be stuck to a window until somebody lets me out.
Yeah.
We got to remember to crack the windows so she can
at least smell the outdoors. Right.
I hear you. No, I'm looking forward to next weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're taking a field trip to actually Falk, and we're going to go check out the Legend of Boggy Creek area. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then we're going to work our way slowly to Texas on Friday afternoon.
Except I'm not.
Working it too slowly.
I'm going to be going fast. Be going real fast.
Yeah.
So here I got Friday and Saturday's forecast.
Hot and hotter.
100 and 102.
Oh. Wow.
Well, that's not too bad as long as the humidity's low.
Well, I will say this. Wednesday night, there's a northeast wind coming in.
Oh.
And Thursday night, it's going to be down about 73. Friday night, 74. That's really freaking nice. That is nice weather.
Yeah. That makes for bad hair, though. Me and Brandy will both be having bad hair days. I'm just saying.
Yep. Yep. Maggie said she hasn't seen The Legend of Boggy Creek. You've got to see it. So when we come back and talk about it, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Yep. You've got to see it.
It's an oldie.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
70.
Yeah. I think 71, isn't it?
No, 76.
Is it? Okay.
Something like
that. In the 70s. It's older than dirt.
Yeah. But if you don't want to do that, I'm sure there's documentaries out that tell you all about the actual true story of what happened. So you could do that too.
Basically, the gist of it, a family was terrorized by Bigfoots.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you were almost on, and I was more wrong than you. It's 72.
Okay. All right. She says I can't find it in Australia, but I'm looking. Wow.
Well, try to look up the documentary for the Boggy Creek monster and see if you can't find it that way, and at least watch the documentary about it. Yeah.
Yep, we have our friend William Lunsford. He's been on our show before, and I know he's been on BMR's show, and I don't know if he's been on yours or not, Tex, but he's the one taking us. He's got the end, so we appreciate him doing that for us. So that'd be fun.
Now here's a little useless trivia about it.
Okay.
The budget was $160,000.
Wow.
Okay. It made $4.8 million at the box office.
Wow.
Wow.
Back in the 1970s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That was a lot of money.
That's a profit.
That's a whole lot of money.
Hi, Terry.
She's at Ashmore.
Hey, so Friday night is the VIP dinner.
Yes.
And those of you that don't know, you know what? I'm going to try. I'll get the link real quick and I'll drop it in chat. The VIP, Krista, would you please? I can't talk.
The VIP dinner.
The VIP dinner is Friday evening. And I think it's like at 6:30 or something like that. 6:30, something like that.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah. It's around that time. Regardless, just be there by 6:30.
Be there by 6. You might miss out on all the good stuff.
Right. So that's going to be fun, though. And then at some point over the weekend, we want to take a trip to where the Lake Worth monster was spotted. So that's something I want to do. Glenn, I have no idea what's on the menu. That I do not know.
Hey, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But honestly, talking about the Lake Worth monster, next Friday night, we do have a pre-record show, but we're going to have Tex back and we're going to have Jason on, and we're going to be talking about this monster and what people are calling it and what it actually was and all kinds of stuff. So that, that's going to be a real cool show. So you'll be able to hear about this monster that we're going to go see if we can look at.
Now, Maggie M10's asking what type of cryptid is the Lake Worth monster. Okay, see, now that's up for debate.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Goat Man. Okay,
Right.
and that's really what kind of kicked off the whole Goat Man phenomenon around here.
Okay.
And Jason can speak more to this than I can because it's in his book, Metroplex Monsters. That's available. I don't know if I can get this right. It's available where all books and trashy rags are sold. Sorry, Jason. I tried.
Hey, DA.
What's up, DA? But I personally, and Jason agrees with me. We think it was a Sasquatch.
Okay.
Now, this thing was witnessed by dozens of people at the same time. And some of them were police officers. What was going on? There were some teenagers down at the lake and they were partying. I want to say it was Casino Beach.
Okay.
But I may be wrong on that. But anyway, they were all partying down there and the cops had basically come down there to, break things up or whatever.
Sure.
And this thing came hollering at them and everything and picked up a tire and threw it like a couple of 100 feet.
Wasn't it kind of like over a cliff type thing?
Something like that. Yeah.
Like he was up on a hill or something and threw it off of that?
It was something like that. Because I want to say they were kind of down below when he kind of threw it at them and it went over on top. But yeah.
But we'll talk about that more next Friday.
Yes, and it will be a pre-recorded show. However, we've been known to do like weird things at different places, so we may go live. Who knows? Who knows? So just stay tuned. Turn your notification buttons on.
Yeah, turn your notifications on because we may be down in the stockyards and we'll just decide to go live for a little while.
Hey, I've already called the hotel and apologized in advance for what. Because it's going to be y'all two, Donnie Cho, and Danielle Diva in the same freaking hotel. And who knows?
We behave well. Brandy and I behave. We don't break anything or break any laws. We'll be good.
I don't know.
We might break hotel rules, but we don't break the actual law.
Right.
I don't know. I'm picturing, furniture glued to the ceiling and all kinds of stuff, tigers in the room and, all that kind of stuff.
You just never know.
You never know.
It could happen. It could happen. I'm not going to say it doesn't. It could happen.
Right.
Officer races up and down the hallway. And
you never know what we're capable of.
Right.
We are law abiding, so we won't be breaking any criminal laws. Like Brandy said, maybe hotel laws, but
yeah.
We can almost guarantee that we won't be in jail, but we can't guarantee that we won't get thrown out of the hotel.
There you go.
Well, and I did mention this to somebody that's going to be there. I said, hey, keep this in mind. I've only got bail for one person.
Yeah.
Just one. After that, y'all are in trouble. Because if it's me, I got my money. I can get out.
Right? Yep.
Well, I guarantee you, if I have to call my wife to get me out of jail, I'm going to be sitting there. That's where I'm spending my vacation.
Yeah. She'll be like, oh, well, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah. Yep.
Pancho Zorch has a question text. He says, what do you know about shadow persons?
I believe I've seen a few. I've never had any negative run-ins with them. I know a lot of people have. And I don't think they're all negative entities. And a lot of people will disagree with any spiritual entity being anything but a negative entity. I don't happen to.
I
adhere to
have
what
to
current
agree.
thought.
I have to agree with you, only because people see shadows all the time at different locations, and they're not all negative.
No.
So when you see a shadow, it's technically labeled a shadow person.
Right.
So yeah,
It's not named a shadow demon or,
Right.
a negative shadow. It is just a shadow person. And
And
most
I've seen
generally,
them, and they're not.
I've seen them, and they're just kind of curious about you and what you're doing, just as well as you're curious about them. So,
That being said, because you do see shadow animals also.
yes.
But all that being said, are there negative ones? Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I think those are like the taller people, so like your normal average shadow person, when you're sitting there at a haunted location, and it looks just like a person, but you just see it whiz by or something, that's not necessarily. Now, I have heard of people having encounters with these super tall beings that are dark shadow figures. That could possibly be more on the negative side. I've
Well,
never encountered one myself.
I mean, I see what you're saying, Chris, and also I've noticed, when people talk about it too, they're talking about them as not being as defined, such as they're more of a blob. They
Right,
don't have a human type figure. They're just kind of
right.
a blob. But that doesn't mean we're right or wrong. It's just what people say and they talk
Yeah.
about.
And
Most
yep,
most that I've seen have had the distinct body. You could tell there's a head, there's an arm, there's a leg.
sure.
You could tell.
Yeah. Well, Pancho, honestly, the one that you said you saw was a single tone gray. I don't think was necessarily a shadow person. It sounds to me more like just a ghost,
Sounds like a manifestation.
Because,
Absolutely.
and that's another thing here too. Like when you're sitting in these dark rooms and you do see things, like it's blacker and black.
Yeah.
So that's just my 2 cents
And
on that.
it's the
Yeah.
same thing out in the woods, folks.
Yeah.
'Cause these things just ain't in haunted buildings.
Right. Right. No,
Now,
that's true.
most of the ones that I hear about that put off a negative vibe or whatever, or they have a negative experience with them, most of the time, from my experience, I hear it was a dark, tall figure with red glowing eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and Jason said this a long time ago, and I love how he put it. He said, if you take somebody that saw a 8-foot tall shadow with red glowing eyes in their bedroom, you automatically assume it's a demon or demonic or negative, however you want to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You take that same person and just change the location to the woods, everybody jumps on the Bigfoot bandwagon and says, oh, it's a Bigfoot.
True story.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Anything with red glowing eyes, I don't want to mess with it. I don't care. It's a no. Thank you very much. I'll pass. Red glowing eyes are not normal. Eye shine, it's normal. Not glowing red eyes. I'm sorry. I just, if it's got glowing red eyes, I don't know. I'd have to stand back and think about really what I'm going to do and how I'm going to get out of there. That's all.
Sure.
Now, I will say this. When y'all were doing the live show from Malvern,
Mm-hmm.
and I was on the show,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw that shadow. I think it was twice, and it was only about 18 inches tall. And we tried to recreate that.
Yeah.
And we couldn't. So that one, I don't know. Now, the one that me and Brandy saw,
Mm-hmm.
we still don't know what it was.
Right.
But it was very defined. And I think we're both in agreement. Now I may be wrong. But as far as I'm concerned, I got the vibe that it was flesh and blood. Mm-hmm. I just I don't know why. It just,
right.
But
right. Yeah.
to see that and get bluff charged out of the trees, when does it quit being a coincidence? So,
Right.
Brandy and I had a conversation the other night after when Josh had to finish with his birthday party. We kind of talked a little bit about how much woo is too woo.
We did have that discussion. Because I believe there's a lot going on with
Rob.
that. There's Rob. We did have the discussion, and I guess it's because we've not had these particular things happen to us that we're not saying it didn't happen. We're just saying we can't wrap our head around it. We just can't fathom or understand any, some of this.
Right.
It's
we actually
go ahead.
Well, the woo is in our Friday night name, and I don't think we're as woo as a lot of people. We do believe, now this is just my personal opinion, so everybody has their opinion, and I respect yours. And I just don't believe that they are ETs. I don't believe they're aliens. And I have yet to witness anything coming in and out of a portal. Not saying it's not possible.
Right.
But I haven't seen it. So
we as people, I guess, have not enough concrete evidence to say, yes, that happened. Right. Or anything. There's eyewitness accounts, but there, as far as I know, there's no proof.
No.
Well, I will say this, and I haven't seen the video. But from the meadow, the whole, so I haven't seen that video. I want to see that video very, very much. But I haven't had the opportunity to see it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could change my mind. I haven't seen it either. Like I said, it could definitely change my mind.
We're open to it. We just haven't witnessed anything like that. We did witness orbs there at the LBL. Can I say it was a Bigfoot? No, because there's 237 cemeteries around there, So no, I can't say it was a Bigfoot. I can't say
Did I see red eye shine? Absolutely did.
Yeah, she did.
But can I say that it was a Sasquatch? No, I can't.
Yeah. So I don't think that, I don't discount stories. But I have heard some stories that I feel like, how do I put this without everybody hating on me? That I believe are very far-fetched. And, I just can't see Bigfoot coming in and making themselves at home in people's houses. I just can't, I can't fathom that. That's hard for me to believe. And not saying that anybody didn't happen to anybody. It's just that it would have to happen to me before I would be on board for that.
Okay. I'm going to get beat up about this, and that's fine. I don't mind getting beat up. Just do it in a respectful manner. That's all I ask. Because I'm just putting my opinion out there. And like everybody said, opinions are a lot like a-holes. But anyway, if I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings here, okay? But I'm just saying, if somebody is saying, I've got Bigfoot on my property, and they talk to me, and I trade candy bars and whistles with whatever, and you're having very, very close interactions with these, like feet away, and you're able to communicate with these things, where's your selfies?
Mm-hmm.
I know it sounds kind of harsh,
right.
But you know.
So I do believe that like mind speak is possible. That I do believe. It's
yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Never
It hadn't happened to me, but yeah, I'm not ruling it out
Yeah,
at all.
I'm not beyond that.
Right.
My only
Right.
thing is, how do you know it's Bigfoot? And the answer that you get most of the time, and I'm sorry, folks, the answer that you get most of the time is either they told me it was, or you just know. That
Yeah,
doesn't fly with me.
I have talked to people who have said that that they could do this and that they use mind speak to talk with them. My thing is, I asked, and each person said the same thing. I said, "Are you hearing a voice that is unknown to you? Or are you hearing your own voice in your head?"
Mhm.
And they all said, "Well, it sounds just like my voice in my head."
Yeah.
Now, Krista and I, being the way that we are, and that we feel a lot of things, especially when it comes to the paranormal. You can't see it, but we know it, we feel it.
Right.
And there is a feeling that comes over us sometimes. It's like, whoa, we
Mhm.
got to get out of here.
And
It's
I
time to
get that.
go.
Yeah, I get that when someone says they know, because us too.
I
as you
do.
said.
Yeah, we know. So I
Mhm.
mean, this is where my trouble is, because then it's not mind speaking. It's more like a feeling or something you're getting, more like an empath would if you're feeling what
Right.
somebody else is feeling. Is
Yeah.
it like that, or is it actual having a conversation?
Yeah.
Well,
Like
and
mental
see,
telepathy.
well, and that's what I want to, and that's what I want to talk about. I'll jump in right here
Mhm.
because you said the word conversation, and that's the biggest problem. Somebody like myself that is on the fence with this stuff, I'm open minded to it, but I
Right.
haven't experienced. People tend to get bent out of shape and get very, very defensive when you start questioning things. I don't care how you're doing it. A lot of people get defensive. I'm not attacking anybody.
Mhm.
You I'm allowed to my opinion, just like you are,
Mhm.
but I want to learn more because
Right.
I don't rule this stuff out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like Lanita said, that she's had Bigfoot around her since 1994, but she can feel them when they're near, and I get that.
Oh yeah.
I get that.
Sure.
Well,
I
and see,
really do. I understand that, because when we have spiritual type entities around
thank you,
us,
Poncho.
thank
Yes.
you,
Thank you,
Pancho.
Poncho. Appreciate you.
When we have spiritual type entities around us, we feel them. We know they're there. It's just kind of like you'll be standing there by yourself, and you could feel, you turn around because you feel like something's watching you. They're staring at you,
Right.
and there could be nobody there. So we
Right.
get that. That is absolutely,
Well,
that's
it's like,
100%, Lanita.
and y'all
100%.
heard me talk, and y'all have heard me talk about this. When I first started going out in the field and researching these critters, okay,
Mhm.
and whatever else is out there, because honestly, we don't freaking know what else is out there.
Sure.
Mhm.
We don't even know what these critters are, much less anything else that we're dealing with. I'm sorry.
Right.
Mhm.
But, or I don't. I'll put it that way. Okay. But it's I started realizing when I would step out of the truck. But in fact, the first time I did a solo night investigation, when I stepped out of the truck, I felt surrounded. I felt intimidated. And I thought, okay, this is probably not a good idea. And I got
Right.
back in my truck. I drove off, talked to some people, regrouped and said, okay, I'm going to go. Lanita, thank you so much.
Thank you,
very much,
Lanita.
Susan.
You're a
Thank
sweetheart.
you.
Love you, darling.
Thank you.
And from that point on, and I continue to do these solo trips. And what it allowed me to do is really focus on what I was experiencing. I didn't have to worry about anybody else. I didn't have to listen to anybody else talking. It was just me and whatever was out there. And it allowed me to start noticing that when I would go in an area, I would get this feeling or I would get this feeling. And I started picking up the differences. And well, Poncho is not going to be outdone.
Thank you, Poncho.
Thank you,
We
Pancho. Appreciate it.
you. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. And I started to notice there was a different when I had this certain feeling, and I can't describe it, folks. I really can't.
Mhm.
But if I get this certain feeling, I tend to run into critters, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
If I get this certain feeling, and it's a different feeling, and I still can't describe it,
Right.
that I tend to run in the ghosties or whatever, paranormal, the woo, however you want to look at it. And then there's another feeling. It's just a walk in the woods.
Yeah.
Nothing's crazy. No, nothing's off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I know it's just me and nature. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
I did have another feeling, and this has happened one time. I was out there by myself. I was waiting for Texas Cat and I want to call him Calamity. Oh, dadgummit. I've been going blank here the last couple of weeks, so seen a lot of senior moments have been happening. So, Khaki Lackey, there we go. And I was waiting on them, and I'd made camp and everything, and it had gotten dark, and they were running late. And I'm sitting there, and the total energy of the place changed. And I know that word energy means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Okay. But it was a dark heaviness that I've never felt out there before. And this was all in Brown Springs. It was a dark heaviness that I've never felt out there. And it was like it came over the camp. And I was recording at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm having this, and I struggle to explain it. And the only thing I can come up with is a dark feeling. And it was there about 30 minutes, and then it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was. A lot of people attribute that feeling to Dogman.
Yeah.
I've seen a Dogman.
Yeah.
Really, really close.
I can relate. When I was told I had a Bigfoot encounter. I didn't see anything, but like I said, I do ghost, and that doesn't scare me. And I'm sitting outside in the middle of the night with my dog, and I got scared. There was something not right. I felt that feeling of being watched. And so my friend Kathy was in the camper. I woke her up, and I'm like, hey, and she felt it as soon as she came out. And so we went in the camper, and honestly, we laughed about, we're like, there's probably some raccoon out there watching us. We're getting the EBGB. Never said no more about it. And then fast forward 6 months, mine and Brandy's friend, the mermaid medium, Jessica Potter, she brought it up to me. She asked me what happened over there and pointed to that area. And me and Kathy looked at each other like, what? And then it hit us. And she said, there was a Bigfoot watching you. I'm like, holy crap. How would she have known that? So that was besides the night that DA did his talk there at Fall into the Supernatural, where myself and DA's wife Annette, we had something thrown in between us with about 30 people witnessing it.
Yeah.
Right.
That, those were my only two, I can say, weird kind of encounters. But I get that feeling. That's that feeling that you were talking about, Tex, that I had that night, that I didn't see anything,
And the thing about it is, if you take that feeling,
mm-hmm.
put it in your hip pocket. That's what I did, and that's what I call it. You pack it away and you remember it.
Mm-hmm.
It will serve you when you're going out. Like y'all have been going to LBL quite a bit. And Brandy, you came down to Brown Springs, Christian. You want to go to Brown Springs, but if you're going to start doing this Christian stuff, put that feeling in your hip pocket, and that way, when it happens again, you're more aware of what the hell may be going on around you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Geeky Geek, hello to all showing up and or lurking. Hit the hit button and change up to live chat.
That's true. You got to change the live chat or you miss comments. Every show I go on, you have to change that silly live chat.
You have to change the live chat.
You definitely got to like that. You got to. She said like and hit the button, but I like. You got to like that hit button.
I like that.
Yeah, right. And then when you go into chat, you have to go and toggle that from just top messages to all messages.
Yep.
'Cause you'll see
Well-
some will get filtered out, and you're like, I don't see that. It's because it got
Right.
filtered out. Yeah.
Right.
They're just making all kinds of changes. They should just leave it alone.
Why
right?
fix it if it's not broke?
Exactly.
I know.
That's the way I look at it, you know?
Right.
Come on, man.
Well, getting back to what we were talking about now, the experience that I had, whatever it was, when I was in Joplin, I was in my car and started hearing something big coming through the woods and starting to step out to where I am driving. Now I'm driving very slow because I am being dusted out by a lot of people in front of me. So I slowed down and just let them go.
Yeah.
And this was coming out at me. My windows were rolled down. I did not get a feeling of dread. I got the feeling of, I should not be here.
Mm.
It wasn't like, I was scared. It was like, I shouldn't be here. Now, I don't know what that meant. It's just like, you shouldn't be here. And I'm like, I know I shouldn't be here. So,
I know 3 people that had that feeling in Brown Springs not long ago.
Well, the experience you and I had in Brown Springs was different because I seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I seen
Right.
it. I did not hear it and nothing else. I saw it.
Right. Right.
That puts a little different spin and perspective on an experience because there is nothing that I could think of.
Yeah.
That it could have been.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it was too defined.
We are coming up to the 52-minute mark.
Yes, we are. Let's just take a break.
Let's take a quick break. Everybody tune back in. Stay with us, and we will be back. Let's finish this conversation, and we have a surprise coming up on the second hour.
Yep.
So stay
We'll
tuned.
see you in a minute.
Four minutes to go, folks. 4 minutes. Three minutes. We're almost there. 2-minute warning, guys. 2-minute warning. One minute. 1 minute.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Thanks
hey.
for sticking with us. I was just trying to read chat. I had to make me some more tea.
I brought in an extra Pepsi, so I've got mine.
And I still have to pee. I didn't have time to do that.
You gotta get your priorities straight, girl.
I know, but I needed my tea. So gonna be one of them up all nighters again.
Well, you know, you can only put so much in. You gotta let some of it out.
I know, right? Well, I moderated DA's chat tonight, so I had a glass then. And then I did drink a bottle of water earlier, and I had tea this morning. And so this is my third tea. So
I had tea at dinner, and I had like 2 or 3 glasses. So we stopped and ate when we was out driving around, and so
I hear you.
I'll be up for quite a while myself.
Yeah. Gonna be a long night for myself too.
Right.
I need to like get in the swing of like going to bed at a decent time, because I have a feeling next weekend we're not going to get a whole lot of sleep.
No, not at all.
I get off work. I get off work Thursday morning about 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then I was going to try to go up and meet y'all in Texarkana and all that kind of stuff. I ain't going to do it. I love y'all. I ain't going to do it.
Well, you're welcome to.
Yeah, you can meet me Friday morning.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. No.
Brandy will be going Friday morning, and then the rest of us are going to go Friday evening. She has to work, so unfortunately can't make the excursion Friday or Thursday night. But Will Lunsford is nice enough, and he said he would gladly meet Brandy in the morning and take her back to the same spot. So nice guy.
Yeah. Dottie's talking a lot of
Yeah, he is.
BS.
That he is. Hey, real quick, while we're here, before we get, I want to share something that we are doing here. This here, Brandy and I are teaming up with Miss Naomi Finn and DA Roberts, and What's Really Out There, which is Robbie Raines, and we are going to be doing something really cool. So it's going to be 4 channels. Make sure you are subscribed to all of us, and it's coming in December. So that's our teaser flyer. We're not going to put out exactly what we're doing, but we'll gladly text after the show. We'll fill you in on what we're doing.
I was going to say, hell, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Not only that, I wasn't even invited.
Well, we're hoping this is to be like to do maybe 4 a year together, all of us. So it's something fun and different.
We'll have to bring you in, Tex.
I invite y'all to all my stuff.
This actually wasn't my idea.
No, it really wasn't. We were invited to do this, and it sounded like a great idea. Just to start for a first time run, we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see whatever it is with all y'all involved. It's gonna be. It's all gonna lead up to one thing. If nothing else is going to be entertaining, I will guarantee you that. I don't even know what it is yet.
But you have to. But everybody has to be subscribed to all 4 channels, so to get the whole gist of it, the whole thing.
Oh, that's awesome. Y'all better be quiet. You're gonna a little bit different. My mind's already clicking, so you better be quiet because you're gonna give it away.
No, I won't give it away. No.
You drop enough hints, people figure it out.
Well, that's why everybody has to subscribe to all 4 channels, because all 4 of us are doing something, but doing something a little different, and it all goes with.
Quit dropping hints.
So that's all I'm saying. Nobody knows. So it's gonna be.
I don't even know what surprise is coming on the second half of the show. So, folks, when I say things haven't changed, just because we're doing our own channels, we're not streaming over to mine and all that kind of stuff. I ain't lying, folks. I was the last to know anything when that was going on. I'm still the last to know anything now. So
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Tex was always the last to know, no matter what.
Yeah, I get a notification. Hey, we're doing this. Oh, okay. Wasn't this my channel a while back?
It was. I don't think it still isn't your channel.
No.
And then this here, real quick, we're gonna be doing this. And Tex, we did tell you about this one.
Oh yeah.
Brandy and I, along with the Nana Boss, will be there, and I believe D.A. Roberts will also be there at this one.
Yes,
and that's in Ozark, Missouri, and it's Ozark Mountain Bigfoot Conference and Expedition, and it's being put on by a lady named Mary, very nice gal, and Shane Carpenter, Randy Harrington, Danielle Perez, and Dr. John Morley will all be there. So that'll be fun too.
And they are actually having expedition for people. So, if you're a beginner, this is a good time to go.
Yes. Yep. So anyway, if anybody's in the Missouri or surrounding states and wants to come join us, come on.
Come on.
We were talking a while ago about the feelings and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff that changes. Now, I do more stuff out in the woods than indoors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually never asked this question. I will say this: I have experienced it, and I don't know what. You know what? Something just hit me, and I got to ask y'all about the possibility of this because y'all are going to know more about it than I am. Okay, so everybody usually talks about when something's around, everything goes quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that does happen. I have seen it happen to the extreme of it was like a crowd wave going around the camp. Okay. The silence. And it was like everything would go silent, and then it would start back up, go silent, start back up. And it just went all the way around the camp. And we didn't see anything. The assumption is, and the thing about it is, that's what a lot of this is assumption, speculation, theory, thought, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
That something was circling the camp. It was pretty obvious to me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what it was. but normally that kind of stuff happens when a big predator's around. And I'm not talking about John Wayne Gacy. I'm talking about, an apex predator out in the woods. Now, I had something happen to me that y'all weren't a part of it then, but you were aware of it right afterwards. Now, and I do remember that, the cone of silence that we talk about, that
Yes.
when I was hollering at people and they were hollering at me and we couldn't hear each other. But when
Yes.
we were up there, it's crazy what you can hear. You can hear highway noise. You can hear vehicles. You can hear this. You can hear that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, people were closer to me on that one night and they couldn't hear me. And I was hollering at top of my lungs. And I was whooping too, hoping to get somebody's attention. And I'm not what you would call a quiet person. Okay. And they never heard me until we got within line of sight of each other. Oh, dear God.
Surprise.
Oh no, the show has just gone to hell.
If you're going to do something like that to me, at least tell me so I can drink some Pepto before I get on there.
I told the young ladies they had prior notice.
But
I actually didn't expect me on this quick. I had to adjust my stuff. Go ahead, Tex.
Thank you, Robbie. And I did notice it when we were doing the investigation in Hill House, that when something was kind of hinky, it was almost like a muffling of stuff. Kind of like walking into a room when it's empty versus when there's furniture and carpet and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's not silent. It just has a different tone. Everything has a different tone. It doesn't reverb. It's like it's bouncing off of nothing. Something. Yeah. My question is, could that be the same phenomenon that I had happen to me out in the woods? Because we know, we know, Randy, that people can hear me when I do whoops out in the woods.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. And at a distance. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. In that same place.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if things go silent, like if we were going to place that as presumably haunted. I don't know if we could say that it goes silent, but the energy just kind of leaves the room. Like there's just nothing. And you're right, it does go dead silent. There's nothing. You can't hear it. It's just nothing.
And here's the thing. You were talking about, the surrounding. We experienced that at the LBL at night.
Right.
Something was something or more than something. I think it was more than one, honestly, was surrounding our camp that night. Yeah. And I have no idea what it was. And here's the thing. We would shine a flashlight. We didn't see nothing, but there was a bunch of us there. We all heard it. It was obvious there was something walking in the woods. It was the middle of January. There was nothing on the trees. There wasn't, we didn't see any rabbits. We didn't see any deers, no squirrels, no nothing. So I can't explain that.
Right. Well, the same thing happened to Holly and I when we were in McCurtain County, Oklahoma. Same thing. It's like we were out there and it was dead silent. Just there was not a cricket, not nothing. Now, towards the end of July, you're going to hear these frogs and crickets and all that. They should be full blown. There was nothing. Okay. Yeah. So that was on, I think that was on Friday night. Saturday night, it was like they were singing and singing and singing, and it was
Right.
so loud that you couldn't hear nothing else except for, the bugs and stuff. But Sunday morning, Sunday morning when we got up early. It was still dark out, and we went out and we're standing there, and it was dead silent again.
Right.
It just didn't make any sense. It's just like,
Now, I will say this, and a lot of people don't either know this or understand it. A lot of people deny it, but that will there's something else that will cause the insects and all that to go quiet, and it's a natural thing. It's a sudden change in barometric pressure.
Gotcha. That
yeah.
makes sense.
How often would that happen though?
Depends what systems you've got moving in. I mean, and honestly, it depends on the lay of the land you're in.
Here's the thing though, that night when we were at the LBL, it was January when that happened to us. There's no bugs. It was cold. It was probably what, 25 degrees, I would say, guessing.
Yeah.
It
was cold.
So, yeah.
And I will say this, that's one thing I do like going, another thing, not just avoiding the freaking obsessive heat, is the lack of the back noise that you have when you're out in the late fall, winter, because you don't have all the cicadas going off. You don't have as many dogs going off and that type of thing. You're down to pretty much birds and wildlife.
Yeah.
And it makes it a whole lot easier to kind of distinguish what's around you.
Right. Well, Tex, that brings up the same thing though, is we were at the bottom of the cemetery in Brown Springs. You heard the crickets, the frogs, everything. We get up to the top, it's dead silent.
Yeah.
Nothing.
The occasional freaking bird, but that was few and far between.
Yeah. There was nothing.
Yeah, aside from Spring squeaking on ATV, that's all we heard.
Yeah. So, Rob, when you had your Bigfoot encounter, did you notice anything like quietness or anything like that? Or I know you're on the water, but
no. When I had the encounter, like I said, when we went, it was a Wednesday, and it was the middle of June, so most people were probably still at work. Or for me, it was vacation. For them, it was just a typical Monday through Friday.
Sure.
So it was Wednesday, and on the big lake, well, they're both big lakes. I shouldn't really even say that, but on Lake Cadillac, there's two boats on this very massive lake. And it was funny because when Cindy and I were driving down the shoreline, we were looking at these beautiful mansions. And it's funny that we had made comment, yep, they're all at work because all the lights are off. There was no activity. So, they were working to pay those big, enormous mortgages.
sure.
In fact, it was like small hotels that these people owned.
Yeah.
And then when we got to Lake Mitchell, which again, it's just as big, to be honest, if you look on the map. And there were some nice homes, not quite as extravagant and not as much, it wasn't as busy, but there was like one or two people on the lake. And what I do remember about drifting down the shoreline, all you've seen, as I always explain when I tell the story, it was just quiet. Nobody was around. I saw the sky was beautiful. I mean, you could hear chirping of birds and stuff, but other than that, now that you bring up the question, though, when I first came across the encounter, it was definitely silent. And the water was glass. I mean, it was not a ripple until the roar and the yell. Then there was some agitation in the water. I always tell people a little wake kind of rush towards the boat. But again, nobody around, very quiet, it was a great day to be out on the water. It really was a beautiful day to go fishing.
Yeah. So there you go. There's another instance of the quietness,
And too, I obviously I didn't hear you guys show. It was on some other show, but every time I come across a story or talk to a person on all of our shows that we all have, right before an encounter or an experience, it's always quiet. You always hear somebody will say, I heard the frogs. I heard rustling in the brush with squirrels, rodents, hear the birds. And it's like the calm before the storm, because all of a sudden, a predator's around. And I'm not suggesting Bigfoot's a predator, but when there's something around, it gets just quiet.
Yeah.
And that's really, and just like a tornado, I had a tornado rip through here north of me. I told you guys, I don't know if I told Tex. And you know what? The tornado missed me by about 4 miles. But everyone talks. I also like following channels that have. I follow tornadoes. I like tornadoes.
Yes.
But every time, you guys, before even a tornado hits, the wind stops. There's no wind. There's no sound. There's nothing. Then all of a sudden, boom! That big train starts rolling through your neighborhood. And I equate that as the same thing as, being in the woods when there's something that shouldn't be there lurking about, And I'm sure it's the same when you guys do ghost investigations or paranormal. It's probably not a lot of chatter. Now, I could be wrong. I've never done it. But I'd imagine it's kind of, but then again, I could be wrong. You have the spirit box going, you got this going, so.
Yeah, I was going to say ghost hunts at times, unless you're, just sitting by yourself in a room, it can be kind of, well, if we do an event or something, because there's a lot of people that are new and so they talk and things like that, Now, if it's just Brandy and I and like our team or something, it's quiet.
Very, very quiet. We'll just sit there and be as still and quiet as possible. It's we have to even say if our stomach growls, we're like, okay, that's me. It's just like, so we know who's making what noise. So when it comes to evidence, we can go back to it and say, oh, well, that they said it was them. So, okay.
Yeah. Same thing with whisper. You don't whisper, when you're running an EVP session.
Have you been over that audio when I was down there in that basement up in
I have not been over that audio. I have been over the show that you were on when we were doing that.
Right.
And I haven't found anything yet, but that doesn't mean anything because the DVR that I handed you was a 180.
Right.
Now, when I say 180, it means it's going to get directly in front of you and on each side. If you had anything happening behind you where you could hear sounds or things, it might not have picked it up.
This was in front of me.
Well, then it might be there. I hate to say this and I'm horrible, but I have probably 100 hours worth of stuff that I have to go through.
I understand it.
Yeah, because 1 hour will take me 2 or maybe 3, depending on how many times I have to rewind, listen to see if I hear anything or if that was something else or if I can debunk it or it's bad. But it takes time.
If it's video, you're watching it at quarter speed. I mean, so
that takes a long time. You're like,
well, this is a question probably more so for you, Tex, and probably for you, Chris and Brandy, but because I try to listen on YouTube to like sounds of the forest. I've said this a couple times before: fox, wolves, bear, whatever. Now, Tex, when you have your recorder going and you hear a strange sound, is it quiet? Does everything like get blacked out, and the only thing you can or blocked out is the only thing that you can hear is something unusual, or do you still hear the chirping of crickets, or does it shut down?
It depends. I mean, it depends how close whatever's making the sound is to you. Depends how it affected, like we were talking a while ago. Sometimes it don't make the crickets and stuff shut up.
Okay.
I know a lot of people swear about, you can tell when a Bigfoot's around. No, you can't.
Yeah.
One, Bigfoot ain't the only critter that makes it do that.
Yeah. No, right. Yeah.
But it just really depends, because I wish audio had been running at this time.
Mhm.
But we were out one night, and I don't agree with this technique, but whatever. They had music cranked up, and we got screamed at twice. After the first time, we turned the music down, and nobody was recording. And then we got screamed about 20 minutes later. We got screamed at again.
Mhm.
But it was so far away that I don't remember it affecting anything around us.
Yeah.
So, but that, I have no idea what that was. That was loud, creepy. And I don't know, the feeling I got, it's the only thing I can say. The feeling I got, for some reason, when I heard it, I thought female.
Yeah.
Not a female human screaming or nothing like it. Wasn't nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like anything I'd ever heard. And I tried to find something that maybe I'd never ran across, or, you know, a lot of these folks, it's been, you hear this a lot. Oh, I've been out in the woods for 40 some odd years. I know what everything sounds like. No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
There is maybe a handful of people that can know every sound that every freaking animal makes.
Yeah.
Even in your local areas, much less out in other places. Okay. So what you have to do, if you don't recognize the sound, don't lie about it.
Yeah.
I don't recognize the sound. Research. Go to, listen to animal sounds. See if you can find something that's even close.
Right.
Because just because you're listening to it on the computer doesn't mean it's going to sound exactly the same way.
Right.
Like you heard it. But if it's very, very close, I think you have to you have to disregard it.
Yeah.
Or, of course.
Yep.
And folks, I understand the mentally challenged owl sounds. I get it. Okay, I've heard them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, the only way to tell that it's not an owl or it's not a person is to put it on a spectrograph and look at the hertz. That's the only way to do it. If it's in the hertz that an owl doesn't make, that we don't make, guess what? It was something else. Imitate. Good chance it was probably a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Hey, Tex, you said something that I just kind of resonate with. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Back it up. Show it to show it who's
well,
boss.
I just did 2 hours and I'm on this fabulous show. Everybody
There you
subscribe
go.
to the Blondes and Booze Paranormal Podcast, found on Thursdays at 9 and Fridays at 9 Eastern Standard Time. Now, with that being said, Tex, you made mention you wish you had your voice recorder on.
Yeah.
And Brandy and Krista, you probably would kind of maybe agree with this. Moving forward, Tex, when you do your field research, are you going to try to make it more cognizant to make sure that you always have the recorder going? Because you're kind of like me, and I think the girls, we much prefer to hear audio than video. Because video is video, and people are going to say what they're going to say. But the audio is the thing that really, that to me is a truer, if you're looking for the evidence, right?
Yeah.
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 I'm not a fan, as everybody knows, I'm not a fan of these pictures that you have to put up and run through 9,000 filters and turn it sideways and squint your eyes and put one leg in the air and pet the dog, and then you can see a Bigfoot. I'm sorry. I am not, that's not my thing. But audio to me is harder to fake and harder to, if it is something, harder to get rid of, because like I said, you can put it on a spectrograph, but we know the frequencies of certain owls. We know the frequencies of a human, and Doesn't matter what the humans, doesn't matter what noise you're making. You can't get out of your range. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's people that can sing different octaves at the same time. That's a fluke of nature. Okay, but I think you can narrow down with audio a lot better, I guess. I'm just, don't get me wrong. I love a good picture. I love a good picture. I've got some pictures myself that, you know, that I'm very proud of, but, and I've seen some taken by other researchers that just will blow you away. But the thing about it is, most of these pictures, if you take it and you show somebody that's not in our circle, they're going to say, I don't see nothing.
Yeah, whatever.
You know?
Yeah.
The great pictures are the ones you can show to anybody and go, they go, holy crap, what is that?
Yeah.
You know, that's the ones you want.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like we keep mentioning this, but it's like that picture that William Lunsford had on our show. And I took one to look at that and I said, Gugway.
Absolutely.
Bam. It didn't take me, but
it's a
half a
fantastic
second.
picture. Yes.
Yeah.
Real quick, we can get back.
What's better?
Brandy, can you just answer Crystal J's question so I can take it off and get to others?
Yes. What is it?
Real quick, we'll go back to that.
After the haunted house with those creepy dolls, Brandy goes, yeah. Yes, there was. Now, the problem that I'm having is that they're so faint that I can't get them tuned in enough to get them on a show. That, you know, and that happens a lot, because what happens when it becomes silent in a room, you have what's called white noise. And in a lot of words, conversations are being held in that white noise on the spiritual realm. I am not kidding. But once you start clearing up that white noise and trying to get rid of it, well, then there goes your sound.
There we go. All right, Ted, sorry. We can go back to you now.
Yeah.
That's cool, because I don't remember what I was talking about.
You said I heard Robbie Raines, and then that was it.
Oh, yeah. We had a great conversation with Robbie Raines the other day about when we was talking about the whole Dogman versus Bigfoot fight. And I don't remember what I was. Oh, the Gugway thing. Okay, I'll get that. And that's something else. We don't know what the hell a Gugway is.
No.
You know,
no.
It could be just another Bigfoot. You know, just a more waspy version. You know,
a pissed off Bigfoot.
Yeah. I mean, they just may have anger issues. I don't know, but if I was to guess, the Gugway is probably got more of the attitude towards humans, like the orcs did on.
Heck yeah, they're face eaters.
On the like the orcs with the on the damn it ring show. What is that? Just freaking shoot me now. Lord of the Rings. You know, they kill a human or one of their own, and it's like, meat's back on the menu, boys. You know, I think they've got kind of that. They may have that attitude towards us and themselves. You know, but it's like we were talking about the other day. We don't even know what the hell a Gugway might be. And I know there's a lot of people that go, well, I know it's this.
Yeah, well, no one knows what it is.
All I want to know. Tell me how you know, besides I just know.
All the accounts that, Tex, all the accounts that we heard is just mean. It's kind of abnormality. But what is an abnormality? Bigfoot's an abnormality, for God's sake, right? So, I mean, okay, fine. It's mean. Well, my Bigfoot was mean. I don't care what anyone says. I got it before I forget, though.
He just wasn't happy.
he was not happy camper, man. He had a stick up his ass. But I don't want to, before I forget, everybody, we're all visual people. We love pictures, we love video. But here's the thing about the audio, and what I like about the audio, you guys, I don't play around with audio machines or apps. The girls do, and text kind of does. What I like about audio, though, is like you made mention, we talk about frequencies. So I would imagine if you get a sound from the forest that's unrecognizable, you can probably by the algorithm that you get on the video or the voice recorder, it could probably determine if that audible level is something that a human cannot vocalize. So it has to be something else, or maybe it's something a coyote can't pronounce, right? So to me, that is more evidence than a picture. And again, the pictures are cool. We love them. I like a nice picture. But to me, again, refracting back, I think you can prove a lot more, I think, with the audio. If you have all the right equipment. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not a researcher, but I think that but I love the audio. It's creepy. It really and it's
oh yeah.
But it's also informative.
Yeah, it is.
All right, folks. Pancho just put something in the chat. And I want to give him, her, them, whatever, full credit for this. And I had no idea about this. And this is freaking awesome.
Which one is it? Pancho? Let me go back and see. Is it this comment?
That is the one. It says, best tick and chigger control is, he says full body, but is pantyhose. Many difference. Now I know about wearing pantyhose. I mean, when I was playing football and stuff, and even rodeo, if it was going to be cold, we would, every once in a while we'd wear pantyhose.
Yes, pantyhose or tights, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, what I didn't, and I'd never heard this about the chiggers, and I looked it up, and I'll be damned if it ain't right. Not only chiggers, ticks, chiggers. What does it say? Ticks, chiggers, leeches, and jellyfish. I got to go find me some king size freaking pantyhose because
Get you some thigh highs. Get you some thigh highs.
I am. I'm down, man. Sign me up.
All right.
Yeah.
Sign me up. That is awesome freaking information. I'm blown away. I had no clue. I've been going out in the woods for 40 plus years.
I think I'm gonna have to go find me some pantyhose just for our trips out in the woods.
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Interesting.
I'll be damned.
I might need to write that down.
Every day, folks.
He says it also prevents tapping too.
Okay. Yeah.
That it do. Man,
A little bit of chafing going on, y'all.
You talk about prevent chafing. My wife bought me some new undies, and I put them on. I felt like I got what? She did.
Go ahead.
And I put and they're like boxer briefs type thing, and
of course
I thought, hell, I said these ain't freaking undies, they're freaking shorts, And I'm like, what kind of damn material is this? And I still don't know what. And I'd show y'all, but I don't know. But it's not. It's almost like a pantyhose type material, but it's thicker.
Oh wow!
And it's kind of form fitting, which in my case is not a good thing. But
fantastic information divulged tonight on the Blondes and Booze Paranormal Podcast. I love that text.
Don't get off of me, man. I'm proud of my 3 inches.
I like that. I like the commentary. I like it.
2 in the summer and 1 in the winter. Y'all leave me alone.
I'm not poking fun.
Oh, I can't do it.
I was just going to say, but they're really cool. Talk about preventing chafing. I wore them for the first time tonight. Went walking around quite a bit. Man, these are comfy. And yes, that's all I've got on down below this, since y'all are asking.
Well, let me take a quick peek. Hang on. Yeah, well, I'm sporting the boxer briefs myself.
Well, what did I tell you, Brandy, when I logged on?
She said, "You're lucky I got pants on."
I'm telling you, folks, you have no
I
idea.
do, though. I do.
You have no idea how many podcasts you listen to, and these people will be sitting in a suit and they ain't got no britches on.
Oh, yeah.
Guarantee you.
I was hey, listen, back this true story. One of my favorite morning shows is a news podcast, or it's actually on the local news during 2020 when we had COVID, right? So they were all doing their shows from home, and this guy's name is Ryan Romani, and he had the tie on, the white shirt, blue blazer.
My undies got y'all $5.
Thanks, Maggie.
Thank you, Maggie.
So he didn't realize he got up during the show because his segment was done, and he didn't mute his mic. He didn't black himself out or anything. So he got up wearing the tie, the shirt, got up, and he's quite a tall guy. I had to have been, because when he stood up from his desk, sporting in front of everybody in Michigan, the Detroit metro area, was his blazing red boxer briefs, which was fully exposed, and that was from the waist down and up was the suit he had on.
Yep.
So you know how many people have done that and do it on podcasts or do it on the news?
I'm
right
so
now.
afraid of that. That's why I put shorts on. I've got my shorts on. I'm good if I have to get up. But just to let everybody know, especially you, Tex, your new name is Texie Bear. That's Bare.
Excuse me. Yep.
Krista said you're lucky I'm wearing pants. You know what? You're lucky I'm wearing anything at all. How about that?
Well,
we're gonna add that to your Texalicious name now.
Yeah.
Texie Bear.
Texalicious,
That. I'm gonna have to get a
Texalicious
shirt
Bear.
made now.
Texalicious Bear.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Bear.
Listen, whether you're a guy or a gal doing a podcast, I'm not going to say that it's wrong to go full commando during a podcast. However, if you're doing that sitting on your nice leather chair, it really does not bode well the next morning with the smell that might be emanating. And I don't care how clean you are. Those balls get a little sweaty.
God help you if you leave a skid mark.
Right.
Oh my God.
I can't.
It is 1:38. It is 1:38 in the morning, so everybody's overthinking.
That's hilarious.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far, Rob, with that.
No,
I was thinking, when ladies sit down and it's hot outside and they've got the pleather seats and the pleather seats, and then they get up and rip their skin off their back of their legs.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. You went way beyond that.
Well, I was thinking more along what Tex was saying with the boxer briefs. And I would not be. I would not. I would not want to be a woman to go commando sitting in a leather chair for an hour and a half. I tell you that. I'm sure it's worse than a dude.
Yeah, I would not.
And I'm not going to say any more.
And ladies and gentlemen, just an FYI, there is no alcohol involved in this. I'm just letting you know.
No.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah. Not on my side, there's not. I got tea tonight.
I got caffeine-free Pepsi. I don't even have caffeine involved. I don't even know what's going on.
That's such a boring. They still make that brandy?
I'm never going to get
gold. I haven't seen that gold can in years.
I got it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I can't have a lot of caffeine. It does bad things to my body. So I cannot. And I love my coffee. So I'd rather drink my coffee and then take it,
Yeah.
leave it
Hey.
out of my sodas. Or,
Hey, I'm with you. I can't do a lot of caffeine either. I'll drink 2 cups of coffee and I'll be tweaking like a meth freak. I mean, it's bad. But
You
yeah,
know,
I don't do caffeine. If I drink, and I'm not a big coffee drinker, mainly for that reason. But
I love me some
when I
coffee.
when I go out
I
and have
love me
breakfast,
coffee too. I love my coffee. That's what I
don't get
said.
me wrong. I love a good cup of coffee. The problem is it's hard to find a good cup of coffee.
True.
And
Sure.
now Waffle House, you ain't got a problem.
Oh,
You're
I
gonna
love
walk in, you're
Waffle
gonna get a
House.
good cup of coffee. But it's
Yes.
I have to drink decaf when I drink coffee, because when I'm eating breakfast, I do love a good cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It's called Lumi.
Yeah, I love a nice strong coffee in the morning. I always set it. In fact, I set the timer so it percolates an hour before I get up, so it gets nice and strong. And I also turn on the strong button. You know what, you guys? I love Penny. She always has the witty comments. Penny Van. I don't know if you guys put it. I might have missed it.
Yeah.
Penny, naked in the house is okay. Just put a towel down on your chairs.
You nailed it.
She sounds like speaking from experience is what it sounds like.
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
but getting back to the coffee, yes, I definitely need. I'll drink 10 cups in the morning, from like 7 to like 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
oh,
I'm
yeah.
off of work, I will drink. I'll drink 3 cups probably. And then if I'm sitting down talking with somebody, could be a half pot. I love coffee, and I'll drink it all day when it's cold outside.
Oh yeah, I mean I could.
Yeah.
Then I discovered coffee, and I'll put a
Waffle
Hershey's
House.
I love Waffle House. We were talking about that. I'll take coffee now, but in the wintertime, especially around Christmas, I'll put a Hershey's Kiss in it and give that chocolatey.
Yeah.
Mm,
I'm with Lily Pond. Bailey's good with a little coffee.
Yeah, that's great
You're
too.
absolutely right.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah.
a little shot of Irish in your coffee is not a bad thing.
I agree with Lily Pond. I would do that too, but I can't do. If I started that, I'd go broke, especially in the winter.
Yeah. I don't drink
Yeah.
much hot coffee
I'm
this time of year.
$20 coffee when you put the Baileys in it. If you know.
Yeah.
Why y'all beating up? Why y'all beating up on Waffle House out in the chat, man?
I got to tell you, I
love
like Waffle House.
I love it.
I like Waffle House.
We endorse Waffle House here. I'm telling you.
Tex, I tell you, you guys, Jason and Tex took me to Waffle House in Alabama. I never been there. So we sit in there and we walk in. We walk in this joint. There's mud on the floor. It's just like, man, what a dive. But then again, I like dives. We sit down and I'm listening to Tex order, and I'm looking at this fabulous menu, and I get some sort of bowl with jalapeno. I mean, just a big breakfast bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get the waffle, and I'm just enjoying this food so much.
Mm-hmm.
And Tex is over there. I had Jason next to me and Tex on the left. And he's looking at me. He's all smiling. And he got all these waffles. He goes, Robbie. I go, what? I'm thinking what he's going to do is what happened. And it did happen. He's going to offer me one of his big ass waffles. And sure enough, he did. Dripped that bitch in syrup. And it was fabulous, Tex. Oh, fuck.
Well, when we were in Alabama, we went to Waffle House too.
Sure did. We sure. What was it, about 2 o'clock in the morning?
Probably same one I was at then. Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably 2 o'clock in the morning, and
Yeah.
Randy and Tex and Randy and myself, we trampled in there, and
Our whole table was filled with plates of food. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
just, it was everywhere.
That's when I tried the whole waffle. What was that I tried? The waffle in the
Yeah, it was, man.
Oh,
It was
you
an
did.
eliminator. It
Waffle
was
and
like
chili.
Yes.
Waffle and
yeah.
chili. That's what
Chili.
it was.
Waffle.
That's what
You
it
did.
was.
I don't know if I'd have. It was chili on the waffle.
Well, no, see what it was. This guy, the waiter was telling us, we were talking about, I don't know, different types of food or whatever. And the waiter was telling us that this guy comes in or came in, whatever, and ordered chili on his waffle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and they were all, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I don't know. It might be a well hidden gem. You never know.
Right. You just don't know.
No, you
I mean,
don't
who
know.
thought of chicken and waffles? Okay.
And I had ordered. I'm hard pressed to go to Waffle House and not get a freaking waffle.
Sounds good now, don't it?
I know, right?
That's all meat and
And-
Waffle House. Let's go.
Yeah, no kidding. And they're a dime a dozen down here, folks. I guarantee you ain't gonna have a problem finding one. But I got to take y'all to a good breakfast spot too. Another good breakfast spot.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I ordered a cup of chili, and they're all making fun of me, like, "Oh my God, you're not really going to do it, are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I want to try it. If it's not any good, what have I lost? I've nothing. A bite of waffle, and I gained a cup of chili. Where does a loss in that? So and I did try it. It wasn't awful. It wasn't like, oh my gosh. It was different, because you kind of get, because the waffle mix has got, vanilla in it and that type of thing. So you kind of get that on the back end of it. So it's an acquired taste. I'll put it that way. But it wasn't horrible.
Did you put syrup on it?
No. Just the waffle and chili. That's it.
He just dipped the waffle in the chili. He didn't.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if you put syrup on it.
No. When he gave up on that idea, and he said it's just not.
It's not, it's not something I'll be ordering.
Right. So then he put the syrup on his waffle that had no chili.
Right. But
we're gonna have to make a Waffle House run next weekend.
Actually, I gotta say something.
You can do that.
I've got to say something about Tex. I've met him twice in person so far. We've been at least, that I know in my mind, 4 different eateries in two times I met him. And I got to tell you, if I live close by Tex, I mean, we're good friends now. I love Tex, but I would be over his house every day where we go and eat because he finds these hidden gems.
Yeah.
And man, and his wife would probably say, Rob, get the hell away from Tex. What are you? You're not our kid. Get away.
Well, we had this discussion about what we would do if Tex lost all this weight, or when he's going to do it. What are we going to do then? If we have a skinny Tex, I said we're going to put pillows on him, put pillows up his shirt.
Well,
those of you that don't know, and I'll go ahead and I don't think I've said it publicly yet. I know the team knows, the family knows, and everything. But looks like in October I'm having weight loss surgery. So, it's I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I'm officially, one of two things. I had a psychological exam. I either fooled the shit out of her or I'm not crazy. So we had a virtual, I might as well get into it. We had what it is, you have to take a 344 question test.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then they review your answers, blah, blah, blah. And basically it's almost the same half dozen questions, just asked in different ways. That's what it is. And so you take the test and then you have a virtual appointment. Everybody's doing virtual appointments. Well, I'm good because I don't have to drive across town to go to anything. That's great. So when I had my virtual appointment with this psychologist, it's just like I am right now. I got all this stuff behind me. Right. Mm-hmm. And I figured what the hell, it's me, right? So, because I honestly toyed with the idea, maybe I'll do a virtual background and, and all this kind of stuff. And at the end of the thing, she was telling me, I think you're going to do fine and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay. I said, well, all the Bigfoot stuff didn't throw a red flag. She started laughing. She goes, no. Well, then the next question is, what's all that about anyway? And I said, well, I have a podcast. And I started telling her about this and that and the other thing. I said, and we don't just talk about this stuff. I've got a true crime thing. She goes, oh, I love true crime. I said, well, that's great to hear. Because I would love to interview you about personality disorders. So in the future, we are going to be interviewing the psychologist that did my evaluation.
Awesome.
Wow, that'd be awesome. Chuck.
About personality.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Cool.
Oh, something we got coming up soon in Infamous Minds. Now, everybody that you could either like true crime or Bigfoot, and you're going to love this case. I found a Bigfoot researcher that was a serial killer.
Oh my Lord! Now that is going to be
Now that is going to be wild.
that's
So
awesome.
that is on the books and will be coming soon.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Very cool.
I do have to
Yeah.
tell you, Chuck, since we're talking about this, I saw an interview today of the BTK killer. His daughter is speaking publicly
Mhm.
because of the Lisk killer and his family.
Yep.
And she was talking about all the things that she had gone through after that, because people were, getting away from them and not talking to them and everything after what her father had done. And she's
Right.
like, the Lisk killer and his family, that family is going to go through the exact same thing. So I guess the daughter of the Lisk killer and then the BTK killer are getting together and going to start some kind of something like,
Support group.
I don't know, some awareness or something
Yeah,
that
good.
their lives were not great either.
Mhm.
That's great.
That there was abuse in the home and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting what they come up with. I just wanted to mention
Well,
that.
and another thing, the reason he was in the news was not only that, because word has it that they talked to him just like they did Ted Bundy. They went and
Yeah.
talked to him to kind of get a profile on this killer.
Yeah.
And most, if not all of these serial killers are narcissists. They love the attention. Okay.
Yes.
And so, he's just blah, 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 blah. And so word has it that they went and talked to BTK about the Lisk killer, which don't know is the Long Island serial killer. So
Yes.
but that's not the only thing. And his daughter coming forward and the Lisk family and them, she's actually helping them go through this process. And that's exactly what it is. It's a grieving process.
Yeah.
It really is, because you've lost a member of your family.
Sure.
You go through all the stages of grief, all of it.
Right.
Anger probably being one of the biggest ones, but betrayal, everything, guilt, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's terrible what the family's gone through.
Right.
And
not to mention the media won't leave them alone.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
the BTK killer's daughter, the daughter is so mad at him because she said this is his whole thing. This is all he's ever wanted. He wants to be up front and center. He wants to have the limelight. That's why he's so involved now.
Yep.
Because people kind of forgot about him.
Yep.
Not really, but they forgot about him, and he just thought he'd have to just get right in the middle of this one. But they are saying that the BTK and the Lisk killer are very similar, so similar it's almost scary.
Yeah. And
Right.
and
Well,
Brandy,
not only that, but they found more evidence that points towards some cold cases that BTK might have been
Might
involved
have. Yeah.
Yes.
because they found more evidence. I ain't quite figured this one out. There was a Texas sheriff that found evidence in BTK's Kansas home. I ain't put that math together yet. I'm not sure how that came together. I got to do some more research on that.
Yeah, I heard that and I was like, I don't know how that works, but I'm sure we'll hear more about it. What were you
Right.
going to say, Rob? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, Randy, and Tex, kind of both you. The thing about the BTK killer, and I came across that years ago, and you guys keep talking about it, which is awesome. But there's so many layers and layers to that individual
Mm-hmm.
that
Hey,
it
Danielle's
doesn't
here.
that it doesn't. Hi, Diva. That it doesn't end. The layers to this, it doesn't end with the
Right.
BTK killer. And Tex, this is kind of cool because I sent you that research I did on
Yep.
the Gilgal Beach Killer, aka Long
The
Island.
list. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. And you loved it. You said, Rob, this is great. And then sure enough, Tex, it was probably 3 weeks, a month later, where
Yeah.
they found the killer. Now you can add to that, and that's probably, I'm sure you'll do that one day down the road.
Oh yeah.
And I'm looking forward to the Bigfoot one, absolutely, for sure.
Yes. That's
And
going to
the
be
Long
wow.
Island killer. In fact, I want to come on for the Long Island one since I know a lot about that case.
Yeah, I
But
do too.
man,
I was
Tex,
keeping up on that
it's a
one. Yeah.
lot of you got some great cases coming up, and everybody out there, Infamous Minds, Tex, True Crime, 3:00 with Miss Diva, who's now in chat. It is a great. If you're into true crime, you guys are missing out if you're not watching because Tex, it is a fantastic show. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'll tell you what, it's really, honestly, and I said this once, I've been trying to do this for a long time
Yeah,
because
I
this
know.
has been an interest of mine for a very long time.
Mhm.
Actually longer than I've been involved in the whole active Bigfoot research, you know. And I've talked to a couple of people, about doing it, and it just never came to fruition. And there's a reason for that. Then I ran into Danielle, and we met, and the chemistry was there, the same interest were there, and it just took off. And I got to tell you, it's kind of more her show than it is mine because, I mean, don't get me wrong, we're equal in it, but and that, of course, y'all know that's the way I see everybody that's involved in the channel. We're all,
Yep.
but it has become. I joked about it one time and called it her baby. She took it to heart. I mean, she nurses that thing like it's, and I'm so proud of her, and she's such a sweetheart. And this last episode, I was having to work, so I wasn't able to. She's got a new schedule. I've been having to work overtime, so we're having to. Luckily, she's doing a couple of shows without me, but she had Paul Dale Roberts on this last weekend, and absolute amazing show. They talked about a lot of different people, and he's a great guy anyway. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I was telling her about the whole Bigfoot serial killer thing, and she's all excited about it. So yeah, we definitely need to do a list, and I think we can tie BTK in with the list on the same show.
Yeah, they're very similar. So yeah, it would be just like profiling one is profiling the other.
Right. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm one thing, we getting back to the Dogman conference, and Rob, man, I hate it that you're not going to be there.
You know what?
The whole team minus Rob is going to be there.
Yeah, I know. Well, I had great news, and I was going to release some news today. I was able to go to the Dogman conference I heard last week because we had to push forward Labor Day weekend. So that weekend was open, but now I'm getting ready to go. But now, Tex, we're having a celebration of life for a fallen member of the family.
Yeah.
And I can't talk negative about that because it ain't cool and ain't good karma.
Sure.
So I thought I was going to go, Tex. I was going to make an appearance, not tell anybody, just show up. But now I got to do a celebration of life, which is fine. I've known.
We understand. We'll let that one slide.
But man, I was crying that I knew I could go when we did the thing for the fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
But now we got.
Yeah.
I should say now we gotta. Now we're doing this other really positive thing. So hey, I gotta do that. So I wasn't going anyway, but for like 14 hours, I was like, I'm just surprised all my friends down there.
That would have been awesome.
That would be great, man. But
yeah, that would have been awesome.
So, but next year's I'm gonna try to make most of the tours next year.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big year for me to kick back. A lot of deaths I had this year seem like God.
Unfortunately.
So hopefully that'll be it for another decade,
Yeah, I hear you. Crystal, we actually talked about this in the beginning of the show, but yeah, it's awful about Bob Barker.
Yep. But you know what? I mean, hey, like we said, he came as close to 100 as you possibly as you can,
Yeah.
So,
I would never want to put an age on when I pass because I won't do it today. But 99 is not bad, not a bad number if you have your health.
No, he lived
Hey,
alone.
I've already said I'm my number's 124, so I'm not worried about it.
There you go.
Thank God.
There you go.
I didn't want to take over the porch, dude.
It'll still be going in 100 years.
I won't be alive in 100 years, man. So I get. Yeah.
Me either.
Half the people listening won't be either.
Probably most of us listening won't be.
Man, I'll tell you what,
Probably their kids won't be alive either. So yeah, I whatever.
Yeah.
My new shift partner was born in 2000.
Oh.
God.
I got kids older than that.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's 24, 23. So yeah.
And
if you were born in 2000, you're 23, going on
23. Yeah,
you're a baby
24.
still.
But I got to tell you,
under
though,
30, you're a baby.
The kid has got a great head on his shoulders, and he's a great worker, and I think he's going to go far. So he's a good guy. He's a really good guy, and he's smart as a whip.
Speaking of our newest granny, Krista,
yes,
2023 baby.
Yeah, he was born Tuesday morning. So yeah, he's a cutie. He's small. Number 3 for me.
That is, and
yeah,
that is, and I got, I've got.
Here he is, right there. That's him.
him.
Yeah, that's my newest.
Man,
that's a boy.
Yep, the boy.
That's a beautiful little baby right there.
He looks just like Ryder. He just looks just like him.
Yeah, I think he does too. Which is his big brother, who his Ryder looks like my daughter, and my daughter favors me. So we have some strong genes, I guess.
Well, you know what? Speaking of genes,
Don't get up.
Ready. Advertise.
Don't get up.
The Tex Wesson's Wrangler brand jeans live at JC Penney's.
I was just telling him don't get up.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Those boxer briefs will be bulging.
Right. That's hilarious.
I need some of them slimming ones as well.
Tummy control.
Yeah.
Speaking of the pantyhose, don't they have tummy control pantyhose as
Yes,
well?
they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah. For those just tuning in, this is
No.
as weird as you think.
No. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
Well, evidently, come October, you're not going to have to worry about it too much.
Well, and I was good. And the reason I brought that up, it wasn't to tell everybody I was having surgery, but it was, we were talking about, this Dogman conference and everything, and going, we're going here to eat, we're going to go here to, we're talking about all these different places.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, that's going to be really the last weekend that I will be able to do that because of the pre-op diet that you have to do.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's like, what is it? 2 or 3 weeks liquid.
Oh.
And then
Next,
like,
gonna be crabby.
Can it be alcohol?
I ain't done with it. And then like a week before, or 3 days before, 3 to 5 days before, clear liquids.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Pixie.
She's such a sweetie.
You're awesome.
But also, if I can do it, this is going to be the last weekend for this.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I have
That's
to.
a
You
lot.
cannot have any nicotine 6 weeks prior to surgery.
Wow.
That's a lot to turn down.
So
Well, it's a whole life change.
Me
Yeah,
being
it's a
cranky
lifestyle change.
is not. That is probably the understatement of the century.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So y'all may get to see a whole different side of me about a week into that.
Well, no, I wouldn't want to be around you because I'm sure you'd be an ornery son of a gun.
I may I'll be like a Randy walking around.
Well,
Right.
Randy, though. Randy is kind of ornery, but like in a funny way. I think that's kind of his personality. I met Randy once, and the guy is nice.
He really
as,
is a super nice
bowl of
guy.
jelly. I mean, the guy is nice as shit. I love that guy.
Yeah, we like Randy. We'll keep him.
Yeah.
And so is Tex. You're nice too, but no, I do know Tex in his 20s and 30s was not a buck you want to mess with. Tex, you could have been the bouncer at my bar, and you would have kicked some ass and taken names later.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, well, back in the 30s, probably.
Well, yeah, and Poncho's a good time to quit that snuff altogether. Well, that's the plan, because if I can go 6 weeks, I ain't going back.
No, that should be the plan.
I ain't going back.
Just like me, every year I've done this for 2 straight years. At the end of August, every September 1st, I try to quit smoking. Now I don't smoke like a chimney every day, but I smoke, and I can tell I'm getting a little older, and I just don't want to do it. But the thing is, number one, I enjoy it. I'm not going to lie to anybody, but I know that down the road something has to be stopped. But I got to tell you, I tried 2 years. I can go 3 days. That 4th day, I'm like, stay away from me. I need nicotine.
Right.
I do. There's nothing.
Well, and a lot of people, I don't know if they realize it or not, but I damn sure didn't when I started. Or I probably wouldn't have started in the first place.
Yeah,
nicotine is a poison. And your body gets addicted, and I mean, that is, I applaud anybody that's ever been addicted to like something hardcore like alcohol or dope and kicked it, because
so that's quite an achievement.
I haven't been able to kick the nicotine stuff, and alcohol. I never got into drugs, but alcohol has never been one of those things that I can take it or leave it. That's another thing. I can't have alcohol for 6 months to a year after the surgery.
Yeah,
that'll be tough. That'll be tough for you, Tex. You're not an alcoholic, but you like to drink your drink.
Well, I do like the occasional drink, but that's what I was going to say. That's going to be the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The nicotine is
for me too.
It chews.
And a lot of people, they don't have that luxury of that being something they can just put aside.
Yeah.
Right.
Patty says,
me giving up nicotine is going to be the biggest struggle for me, honestly. And I applaud people that have overcame, the harder stuff. I really do.
Yeah.
Penny says it's harder to quit smoking than cocaine.
That's true story.
Wired heroin which is a killer of everybody in the world.
Yep.
I heard nicotine has the same effects to quit than like heroin, which I heard with heroin, once you do that one time,
Awful.
you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
So anybody, that scares me. But
Yeah.
Anything that's fun to do is bad for you. That's just
true.
Or if it tastes good, it's bad for you.
I know.
Yeah.
No.
Philip Miller asked, "What is the surgery? Can you tell again?"
I'm having the sleeve done.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and basically, and I can describe that to you, and a lot of people are going to go, "Oh my God," but it's not that big of a deal. I thought it was when I first read it, and I'm like, I don't know. But then, got more into it, and I figured, okay, I can do this. But what it is, your stomach's, like this, right?
Oh, yeah.
And what they do is they take where the nozzle comes down in the stomach. When the nozzle comes down in the stomach,
the feeding tube.
On the back side of that, they do away with about 3/4 of your stomach, or
Wow.
2/3 of it, I guess. About 2/3 of it, and they take out the top portion of your stomach is where the hormones are released that make you hungry, and they take all, if not most, of that out. So basically, your stomach ends up being, hell no, I just bought a brand new roll tonight. I ain't throwing it away. So you end up with a stomach that is about the size and the shape of a banana.
Wow.
Because they cut all that off, they cut all that excess off, and then staple you back together.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's all done. It's outpatient. It's all done laparoscopically.
What do you mean they cut off the excess?
They cut off 2/3 of your stomach.
Yeah.
Inside your body.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have a stomach that's outside your body? Because I don't.
Well, no, I was thinking the different. No. 2/3 of your stomach, dude, is like a lot of stomach, man.
It is.
Well,
Mine is.
it is.
Man. I don't know if you want to get too deep with this discussion because it could get personal. What happens though when you start losing all this weight, which you will, with the weight that you're retaining now?
Right.
You're gonna have to work out, dude, to get that. That's gonna turn. I don't want to sound dumb, or it's hard for me to say, but isn't your excess weight gonna turn like flabby? So you're gonna have to like go on join a gym shit to tighten all that up too. It seems like you're gonna have a lot of excess baggage. So
the loose skin, yeah.
Skin,
He's gonna have skin.
Thank you, Randy. You said it better than I did. Skin.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of it. You have to be in the mindset that this is what's going to happen, because that's what in earlier surgeries people weren't being prepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost all the weight and they had all this excess skin. That was, if you see a lot of people talk about it, that was a bigger hit to their self-esteem than being big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy and I have a team member who she had that surgery, and she went in and she had the surgery to tighten and stuff, and she looks fantastic now. She really does.
But the thing about it is, it all comes down to the elastics of the skin, and the older you get, the less elastic your skin is.
Right.
That's one of these younger people that have these surgeries, they bounce back into shape basically. But you can have surgery to get the excess skin removed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that happening in my case because I'm just not that damn vain. But also, but also, you get on collagen, you get on, there's different, supplements that you can get on, and skin treatments. You keep it, nice and moist and everything. And you'll get a lot of that back, and plus it's like Rob said, my problem right now, and one of the reasons that I am as big as I am, is because my damn knee is so jacked up that I can't hardly do anything.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Y'all see me gimp around Brown Springs. I get there, but it takes me a long time. But that's why there's no stabilization in my right knee. And I can't get that surgery until I lose the weight.
Yeah.
Right.
So once I get that done, my knee is in such bad shape that my right leg is actually shorter than my left. Okay. That's why when you see me in person, you'll see me limping. Some people call it waddling. But it's most of the time it happens when I'm pretty good until I've walked quite a bit and that knee starts to get sore, when I start to favor it. But it's what this is going to allow me to do. And I was having a conversation with Ranger X the other day, and what this is going to allow me to do is allow me to do things that I used to do and I used to love to do. Yeah. Okay. I used to be a very, very active outdoors person, believe it or not. And I'm one of these people that absolutely love working out with weights. I love it. I love to burn. I love it. And so when I can get back into this, it's going to be a whole thing. So,
yeah.
I think it's great that you're going to do that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Krista.
I was just going to say, I think it's fantastic that you're doing this. It has all other kinds of benefits as well, heart health and, all kinds of good things. So, yeah.
And see, that's for the ticker.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's another good thing about this. People usually don't get this surgery until, I had a very, very dear friend of mine that made me look small. I mean, this guy was built like a wall. He was 6'3" and over, or 6'3", 6'4", and over 500 pounds. This guy was a monster. And we tried to get him to have the surgery, and he kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, putting it off. Well, finally he starts having heart problems, Well, he finally decides to have weight loss surgery. Well, when he goes in and gets his checkup, we can't give you the weight loss surgery because we don't know if you're going to survive the surgery because you're have an enlarged heart. So first we have to install a pacemaker. 2 weeks after the pacemaker, they found him dead in his recliner.
Wow.
Before he could have the weight loss surgery. I don't want to end up that way. See, what a lot of people don't realize is I don't have a lot of health issues. I don't have a bad heart.
Right.
I don't have high cholesterol. Never had high cholesterol.
Yep.
I do have elevated blood pressure. Okay. But that's genetic. I've had the camera run through me. All my veins are clear. There's nothing wrong with it. They're wide and open is what the doctor said. It's hereditary. That's just
and
my doctor said. Because I told him, I said, well, if this is good and this is good, my blood work's good, this is good, this is good, why the hell is my blood pressure high?
Yeah.
He goes, well, you have a history? I said, well, yeah, my family does. Well, there you go.
Well, there's a couple things I learned from a doctor is like people with high cholesterol doesn't mean that you eat too much fatty foods. A lot of times we produce it. A lot of times the high blood pressure comes from a gene in the family. But I do have to say this, Tex, so in knowing you, talking to you for a couple of years and meeting you in person for like 6 days, 7 days, however long I've known you, Tex, you're not one of these guys from what I know, and I know I'm probably right. You're not one of these guys who just sits around, just eats all day long.
No.
Right? I don't think you are. You eat what you eat. And it's just one of those things where you can pound some food. I do know that, but I'm just saying.
I will say this.
You don't need a box of ho-hos for lunch.
I can throw some groceries down my throat. There ain't no way around that.
I'm not saying that you can't.
This boy can eat.
It's not a habitual thing with you. Yeah, so. And
but
like you said, you can't get around.
Here lately, what I've been doing is most of you know that I work 12-hour shifts, and most time what I'll do is I get up and I normally don't eat anything. I take a shower and I go to work, and then I'll have like 2 protein shakes at work, and water, and that's all I'll have.
And that's
And
the
then I'll
thing,
eat
man.
when I come back home because I eat whatever's left over for dinner the night before, you know. So yeah.
And throughout my experiences in life, I don't think a lot of people on an 8-hour, 10-hour, 12-hour shift, you're really not eating at work. Most people. No one's allotted a 2-hour lunch and a 20-minute, 40-minute break. You know, so and if you're and like in the auto industry, I know the people on the line, they're not eating. They got 8 hours. You're not leaving the line until break for 10 minutes and lunch for 20 minutes. That's it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But again, how we got on this, but yeah, I'm proud of you, Tex, and I do wish you the best in that. And I know you're going to pull through like a champ, like you always do. So,
Well, you know, and the honestly, the biggest thing is I've got a fantastic support group with y'all guys, with my family, and everybody. You know, so that's awesome. I got a lot of people rooting for me. You know, and a lot of people that's gonna, you know, they'll slap me in the back of the head if I screw up or whatever. So that's good, you know.
Yep.
But when I get to surgery, there ain't gonna be no screwing up, because another thing that I have to learn to do, and if you don't think this is tough, try it. I have to learn to chew my food at least 20 times a bite.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Each bite I have to chew at least 20 times. Let me tell you, folks, when you chew something 20 times, there ain't a whole lot left of it.
Yeah.
Well, there's not, but I chew mine 37 times, so I'm one up on you. So it's very easy. You'll get used to it.
Good on you, Rob. Good on you. But yeah, I actually started consciously trying to do that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I never realized how much I didn't chew until I actually started to try to.
You're right, though. Yeah,
that's true. Very true.
No, that's true.
They also tell you to drink a glass of water before each meal too, because you know that'll fill you up so you don't eat as much.
Yeah, well, that's
I don't know about that with surgery, but like if people, you know, dieting and things.
Well, and that's what's crazy, because I like when I sit down and have a meal, I like a, you know, good glass of tea or you know, whatever. And or one of my favorites is water with lime. I love that, you know. And I'll sit there and I drink it with my meal. I won't be able to do that anymore. I have to eat and then drink after my meal. And there ain't gonna be no this glug, 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 glug. There ain't gonna be none of that. You have to take smaller drinks, and you cannot drink out of a straw.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, it's
because
funny
a straw, believe it or not, creates more gas. I thought it was just the opposite.
It does. Yeah, I know that for a fact. But here's the funny thing: like you mentioned tea, water, and here's me, and I think I'm probably one in the minority here. But when I eat food, lunch or dinner, not so much breakfast because it's usually juice and coffee. The only thing that I eat now, if I'm at a bar with you, Tex, is probably a beer with my Mexican food. That's going out to eat. But if I'm at home and I eat something, I drink milk. Which might be too much to drink. I drink 3 gallons of milk a week.
Ooh.
Moo.
Yeah. 2%.
Yeah.
You know.
But and I'm already doing a lot of stuff that they want me to do as far as nutrition. Because you have to have meetings with these nutritionists too. You know, and try to get you headed in the right direction, prepare you for what's coming and all that kind of stuff. So it's I have mass numbers of health issues, and wow.
Yeah.
You're ornery, Penny. You're hard to kill.
He meant that in such a loving way too, Penny.
Yes, he did.
But I don't know. I'm ready for it because I think I've decided what I'm going to get, because I want to get back into diving. Oh God, I miss it. 2, I'm going to pick something new up, and it's going to be one. I think what I'm leaning towards is rowing.
Okay.
That's a whole body workout.
That's
Yes,
That's a whole body workout.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that's
There's a question here that I had starred and we didn't answer. War Criminal 7S text, are y'all going to do anything out of Brown Springs this fall?
oh, you bet your ass.
In fact, we're having are we having a big barbecue in September?
Well,
October?
No, we're looking at October, November. What we want to do is we want to have a meet and greet and have a fish fry. So, yeah.
Have a fish fry that you won't be able to eat.
I just had fish yesterday. It was fantastic.
Be able to eat a little bit of it. Oh, you know what else I can't have ever again?
What?
Anything carbonated.
Oh.
This is
I can do that one though.
This is turning depressing. I'll be right back. Just kidding.
No beer, no sodas, ever.
Wow, I could do that one though.
Me too. I may have, on average, maybe a soda every couple of weeks.
Yeah, you know? I have one every couple of days, but yeah, I could get rid of that one. Tea would be hard for me to get rid of.
Well, see, that's one thing that I drink unsweet tea for most part. Every once in a while, I'll have a glass of sweet tea, but most of the time it's unsweet tea.
Yeah,
and so that is on the menu, so I'm good to go.
There you go.
Right.
Perfect. Yeah. War Criminal. When we hear more about it, I'll holler at you about.
Yeah, I want to get this Dogman conference out of the way, and then we got we're planning something else for next year. We're helping plan something else for next year. We got we're going to get on the ball with that, and then I also want to get the whole meet and greet in Brown Springs thing going too, because people are going to have to realize how primitive that is out there.
Yes. Yeah.
There is absolutely nothing. Now, I'm going to do my best to make people as comfortable as I can, but it's not going to be easy. Because one reason I'm looking at towards probably November now is because they took the monetization away from us and everything like that. And I need to, hopefully get it back mid-September, and hopefully we'll have some in the coffers by then, and offset some of the prices, because we got to buy you think about it. We got to buy, all the fish. We got to buy all the fish fry. We got to buy the sides, and whatever else we're going to need that was unforeseen, drinks and all that stuff.
Right,
so, and that's all going to be on our dime. I mean, I'm not asking anybody, if y'all want to throw some bones at us when we're out there and help out, that's great. It's not like I'm going to have somebody, I'm not going to have Rob up there working the door,
Right.
There's the cover charge.
Charge this thing. So it's like, you want to come, more the merrier. So.
Yeah. Yep. That'd be fun.
That's what we're looking at doing. So we're going to have to hit that balance between, being, nice weather, because we can't, I don't think January, February around here, sometimes December can get a little gnarly at times.
It's 79 degrees.
But
right. I was going to say,
the problem we have down here, y'all get all the snow you want, that's fine and dandy. We don't get a lot of snow, but what we get stuck with is freaking ice.
Okay.
I get ice. That's what we get here. Now, Krista will get more snow than I do, but I am pure ice down here.
And it sucks. Sucks.
And we're really not that far apart. We're about three and a half hours, dealing with traffic. And our weather can really be different. She said she had rain all day. I have been hot as the devil's what all day. It has been blazing.
And I don't know if y'all know this or not. I wonder what the elevation change is between y'all two.
There is some, because I'm flat. I'm real flat down here.
Well, let's Google that real quick.
I'm trying to think of all the rivers that are running through here.
Careful.
Yeah, Texas.
Because I know there's
Well,
the
we've been on
Current
here for
River, the
2.5
Black River,
hours.
there's the Mississippi, there's tons.
Tex, you were on the same page with me on that one.
You guys just stop it. Stop it.
Her elevation level is 348. I'm at 466.
Oh wow, you're a lot higher than Brandy.
Not much.
Yeah, see, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So you have thinner air too than Brandy.
No, not me. I'm in lower elevation. You stop
I
it,
thought
Rob.
the higher you went, the lower the oxygen level was.
It is the thinner the air.
It is.
Okay.
Chris is in the higher end, so she would have less oxygen. I live on the lower end.
That's what I meant. That's what I said, though.
Yeah.
She has thinner air. I
Oh,
said
y'all
it
are
wrong.
killing me.
But we don't have
It's
any
it's even worse when you get Brandy and Randy together. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And Brandy, your boyfriend is going to be at the conference, by the way. You may have to have the beaver talk with him again. I don't know.
Oh God. Okay, so yeah, trying to tell somebody who's in their early 20s about lingo that we use, that we use in our 50s is quite different. Very, very different.
You told me about that.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah.
That was a funny conversation, though.
He had no clue.
Oh, Brandy.
Why don't you fill the chat in real quick, just as clean as you can?
Well,
okay. Well, a person that was with us he's a young man. I'll do this real quick, Brandy. Didn't know what a two-legged beaver was. Brandy explained it to me. There you go. That's it in a nutshell.
Right, because he said while we were in Brown Springs that he hadn't seen any beaver around him. Well, I started laughing, and he says, "Well, not on two legs," and I went.
And he didn't know why we were all laughing.
I couldn't help it because he was talking about something walking around the camp.
Yeah.
And Tex, I think you were the one who said might have been a beaver, whatever. We're right near the river. Who knows? And he says, "Well, not a beaver on two legs." And I went, "Oh."
Look at Freaky Geek's question. I don't even want to go there.
We're not going there. That conversation has ended. Because we don't want our monetization to end. So
oh yeah, well yeah.
We're gonna leave it alone. Leave it alone. They have too many restrictions nowadays. We got to be good. But anyway, but you see that there is a generational gap.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
hey, check this out. I was having a conversation with my coworker that I just told you about.
Right.
And I was showing him I said, man, I don't know. We got talking about funny stuff on TV or whatever. And I said, oh, I got something to show you. He on SNL. He goes, what's SNL? I said, Saturday Night Live. He goes, oh yeah, I've heard of that. And I'm like, okay. I said, check this out. And it was Will Ferrell. Okay. And they were doing the Celebrity Jeopardy.
Oh God, that's so funny, man.
Okay, and you had Sean Connery and Burt Reynolds, and they were imitating them. And he didn't know who Sean Connery was.
Yeah.
Wow.
He didn't know who
How
Burt
could
Reynolds
you
was.
not know?
Yeah.
He didn't know who Sean Connery was.
He
didn't know who Burt Reynolds was. He goes, "Are these people famous? They're supposed to be impersonating?"
Wow.
I'm like, "Oh dear God."
Yeah. So what kind of music does he listen to? Because that tells a lot too.
He's kind of like me. He's got a real eclectic taste in music. He listens to pretty much everybody. I mean, but it's mainly awesome. Honestly, it's mainly country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My grown kids, they're in their 20s, and but they know like all what like our music was because that's what I listened to when they were growing up. So, I mean, they'll, they
Oh,
know the
geez,
words.
I still subject my kids to it even till
Yep.
today. I don't care if I like a song on the radio, I'll blast it.
Yep.
Well,
And most of the time they'll sing
he
it,
loves
or something.
he loves 80s music.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm like, it's weird. And the reason I tell that story is because it's weird that the stuff that we just take for granted that other people know.
Yeah.
It's like you were saying, the generational gap. Like, what do you think about it?
Because we're with this person, we're actually skipping the millennials. He's not even a millennial. He's what is it, Gen Y? Is it Gen Y?
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I think it's Gen Y. What? Yeah,
X,
Y. I don't know.
Y.
But yeah,
I've heard, because I got the whole baby boomer thing. I get that. That makes sense.
Me too. It does.
The generation. When did Generation X, Y, and Z come in? Where did A, B, C, 3 and all that go?
I don't know, but I think I'm Gen X. I think
you are Gen X. Yes, we are Gen X babies. All of us here are Gen X babies, to be specific.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never knew what I was. I'm an Xer.
You're Gen X.
Yeah, you're Gen X.
Cool.
So I like that. That sounds cool. About. That's just like, and I've said this a couple of times here recently. That's just like people griping about the young country or the young people that are going to be running this country. Oh my God, what are we in for and all this kind of stuff? Well, you need to look in the mirror because your ass raised them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that nobody realizes that we as Gen X were thrown outside.
True.
Yeah, we were thrown outside. It's get out of my house.
I guarantee you, all of us have rode in the back of a pickup truck.
We rode in the back of a pickup truck.
Yeah.
We didn't come home till the street lights came on. We, it's like
out of a water hose.
If
my mom or dad had to call me and the street lights were on, I was already in trouble. I didn't even have to work. I already knew.
Yep. I had to be home when the sun was setting. Once you went home for dinner, supper, however you want to call it, your day was done.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but I've had to go out and pick a few of my own switches too. So.
Yeah. Well, it was also the generation where it started where both parents started working outside the home. Our generation was. So we had a lot of kids that were just kind of like latchkey kids. Yeah. It was like we raised ourselves. I was one of those kids. We just raised ourselves. We were, we just don't get in trouble. That's it.
Don't get in trouble. I used to rob my mom's liquor cabinet when I was a teenager. No, and I would fill it back up with water.
Oh, I did that before.
Like she would never knew. She'd never know that. Never know.
It's funny story. I did that when I was, I don't know how younger.
I was in my teens.
Yeah, I was in my teens, and I know I would take the white liquor because that was easy to replace with water.
Yep.
And so my dad busted me one day. And in fact, he busted me on Christmas when his dad, my grandfather, was over. Robbie, God damn it. I knew this was you, and I got to go buy another fifth of blah, blah, blah. But my grandfather, for Christmas, was laughing. He goes, Bobby, give the kid a break. You did that back when you lived with me. I want to hear you bitching at him. Go buy another couple fifths and get your ass back over here. My dad, of course, my dad shut up because that was his dad telling him, and he told the same thing to me. That was at Christmas time. This is many years ago, of course.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that story because that was like, yeah, Dad, see, you did the same stuff.
Things were so different back then because, like, the first time I ever drank alcohol, I was 14 years old at my cousin's wedding that my dad gave me. And and I got effed up, first time ever. And then my other cousin got married. Well, if Dad did it at this one, let's do it at this one, Yeah. But it's different now.
It is different. When you had parents, like I had really cool parents, and like I remember when I turned 16, I remember it was the middle of summer. I was already 16. My mom and dad always entertained, had people over. And I just remember the first day my dad gave me a beer. I was probably 16. He goes, "Here, Robbie." I go, "Oh," I look at him. He goes, "Don't look at me like that. I know you've drank before, but now you're 16. I'd rather have you drink at the
Yeah.
house, right? But not
Yep.
drink like every day, but here with your mom and dad and our friends." And I just remember looking back at that day and today, I don't even think kids today even drink because kids today, they're into having a good time or getting high.
Mhm.
They're popping pills. They're doing so many terrible things for their body. Not that
Mhm.
alcohol, hey, that's bad for you too, right? Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But the kids today, so many people overdosing from. I had 3 cousins, man, fentanyl.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing popping pills with fentanyl in them.
Yeah, what happened? What happened to Boone's Farm? What
Yes,
happened to that?
Strawberry Hill.
Strawberry Hill.
Yeah,
Hill. Yeah.
come
Yeah.
You know,
on.
one of the popular drinks.
Yeah.
When I was running around, and we cruised the main drag. That's what we did.
Mhm. We
Okay,
did too.
and I was, of course, back then, drinking age was 19
Mm-hmm.
down here in Texas, and I was, 16, 17. I never got carded. I had a full freaking beard, and so I was usually the one or one of the ones that went and got stuff for everybody,
Mhm.
but one of the drinks that the girls loved, I don't get it, but okay, was you go to Sonic, you get a big Coke, you drink about that much of it, and you fill it up with peppermint schnapps.
Ew, that don't even sound good.
Oh,
Ooh, yeah.
Now I liked my age group. We liked Mad Dog 2020
Oh,
Oh,
good God!
I got
and
Ooh,
and
that's like
Purple Passion.
fermented.
Do you remember
Welch.
that Purple Passion? You could buy it in a 2-liter.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That was good stuff too.
Hey, Bartles and James,
It's
wine
the wine
cooler.
cooler,
Yeah,
man.
It was
I remember when they came out.
it was Bruce
You know?
Willis was the spokesperson.
Yeah, the wine coolers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I
California
goodness.
remember
wine
commercials for cigarettes and alcohol.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
Remember the Marlboro Man?
oh
We all
yeah.
know the
Yeah.
Marlboro Man, you know?
But I'll put it this
Hey,
way:
listen.
this thing right here, I think it's up to almost $7 a can.
Mm.
Okay,
Oh yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
when I started, 50 cents a can.
Hey, oh
50
God,
cents.
that's something. Well, like cigarettes. I remember I started smoking young, 25 cents a pack. Now they're 8. But who brought up the Mad Dog 50/50? Was that Krista?
2020.
I said it, but
20
then more
20
women also said it. Yeah.
Okay, I gotta tell you guys a quick story, and that's a grape flavored drink, right?
Mhm.
So I remember having a fifth
Lima.
of it.
Ugh.
No, listen, I remember having a fifth of that in my hand, and my buddy had a fifth of Jack Daniels. So we're at some party, we're in high school. We had no business drinking this because we're not experienced drinkers. So we're walking around the block and we're gunning the Mad Dog, taking a sip of Jack, and we're walking around this block. So before you know it, we just get really like all of a sudden, boom, we're just hammered. I
Mhm.
remember passing out. It's in some yard by some house. And I remember laying in the grass, and it was a white aluminum sided house. And
Uh-huh.
I'm laying there in the grass. I woke up a half hour later, turned to my left, and I puked all over the side of this house with the white aluminum sided house. And it was all purple from the Mad Dog. And I leave. So now, a couple weeks later, we're driving past this house, and the stain from my vomit was so extreme that they couldn't get the stain out of the house. And it was I permanently left a stain on their house.
That's
True
just
story.
gross, man.
Terrible.
That's hilarious.
The first time that I ever got really drunk was on cherry slow gin.
Oh.
And
Oh.
I mean, it was like drinking freaking cough syrup. And I was like you, Rob. When it came back up, it was horrible looking. Horrible.
Yeah, man. This poor person.
You thought I was bleeding to death when that stuff came up.
So Rob, yours was you had the great Mad Dog 2020, not the orange?
No, mine was great.
God.
It was dark colored. I just all remember.
It was the great.
Probably 17 or 18.
Yeah.
I don't see.
And I was chasing with Jack Daniels straight out of the bottle.
Oh man.
There used to be a beer because we didn't always.
I know, Brandy. I know.
As kids, we didn't always have a whole lot of money, right? So there was a beer for a while that was in a white can, and in black letters across the can, it said beer. And this shit was like $6 a case. It was generic beer.
Oh.
And I mean, it was bottom of the barrel crap, right? And this, it was, yeah, it was rough. But after the 6 of them, you didn't care. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
Because I remember going out, and I'm still, I don't understand the logic behind this, what we were thinking. The goal was to get jacked up. The goal was to get drunk. That was your goal. You didn't care what was
the goal.
We were. I saw somebody mention they called something punch a while ago. They said vodka and Kool-Aid. And okay, well, what we did down here around my stomping grounds is we fixed what we call Guyana punch. And I know that's horrible, but yeah, I know, right? So what it was Kool-Aid with Everclear.
Oh, Everclear will kill you.
And so this one party that I went to, I was bouncing at a bar at the time in Fort Worth, and these regulars that used to come in, there was 3 or 4 guys. I can't remember, 3 or 4 guys. They were in their like late 20s, early 30s, and they all lived together. Well, they had this 2,000 square foot house, or more. It was a huge house, and they called it the Rassle Castle. And one of them was an architect. One of them was this. One of them was that. I mean, they had great paying jobs, right? But they were all single, and these 3 or 4 guys lived together. And they were straight. So they decided to have this big party, and they invite everybody that was working at the bar. Okay. So we go, they had took the front end loader and dug out a 3-foot hole in their backyard that was probably 20 yards long and probably 10 yards across, and then lined it with plastic and filled it up with water and made basically a splash pool. But the problem is that we got a lot of torrential rains and it turned it into a mud pit. Okay. But anyway, they had this huge party. There were 18 kegs at this party.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of drinking.
And those old clawfoot bathtubs? One of those full of Guyana punch. So somewhere in the night, I get a hold of a bottle of Everclear. And I, for some reason, convinced myself that I was Gene Simmons and I could spit fire.
I know where this is going.
So I'm going, and I'm doing this with a big lighter, and everything's cool. But I mean, tore up from the floor up. And So I'm standing in this. I've got a kind of a crowd around me, and I'm standing there, and they're like, "Do it, do it, do it." I'm like, all right, hang on." And I went to spit the stuff out, and somebody said something and made me laugh. And when I did, I lost it and spit fire all over, right down this guy's jeans.
Oh,
So I
shit.
put his jeans on fire, and I mean, it didn't hurt him or not. It didn't hurt him or nothing like that. But he decided that he didn't particularly enjoy that and was a little angry.
Yeah.
Whole situation. So that situation went sideways real quick, and I tried to apologize, but he wasn't having none of it. So
yeah.
Me and him had to have a talk. We had a talk. Everything was fine. But anyway, I'll just put it that way. That's how we're going to put it.
That's how it went. We ain't gonna tell the real story. That was just. I'm gonna leave it at that.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
You would have burnt his leg hairs off or something. Crystal J says, haha, tax. Well, good thing he wasn't wearing shorts.
Yeah, it's a damn good thing he wasn't wearing shorts.
Yeah.
You know, he was wearing starched jeans, which that's another thing in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, our jeans now, well, I guess it depends what
I wore Cavaricci jeans in the 80s.
I don't even know what the hell those are. I wore Wranglers MWZs. Okay, that's what I wore. That's all I wore. And these things, we would get them starched so heavy that no shit, you could stand them up in the corner.
Yep.
You know, it was a big deal to have creases in your jeans and be starched to the nines. You know, same thing with your shirts. You wanted creases you could cut yourself on. You know?
Yeah, I wore Jordache and Gloria Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
I'm right with you, Brandy. Yep.
Yeah, but you guys know me though. I turned into I look like Don. I dressed like Don Johnson with the pastels. Looked like a total fruitcake.
Had your shirt unbuttoned down.
I did,
and had the chains on.
No, that was my partner. That was Tubbs, Rico and Tubbs. Remember? Yeah. I had my little Hispanic friend dressed like him with the gold chain. We're from Miami, living in southern Dearborn Heights. I had the white patent leather shoes on with no socks. And then the pink pants, which were purposely turned into floods.
Yeah.
T-shirt and sky blue jacket. And I look like,
a pretty boy.
I won't say it on this, but I look like that, I liked it.
Yep.
That was a dramatic change from what I was wearing before with my long ass hair and stuff that I cut my hair all off. I went through many changes in 3 years of high school because my high school was 10th, 11th, and 12th. Because my junior high was 7th, 8th, and 9th. And then 10th, 11th, and 12th was high school. So it was kind of weird when I went to high school.
Yep.
Down here, for the most part, girls wore Rocky Mountains. Rocky Mountain jeans. That's what they were.
No, I lived in Michigan. No.
Down here it was Rocky Mountain jeans. And I'm telling you, Rocky Mountain jeans had a very appeasing effect on a woman's posterior.
That's funny.
Well, it's fun. It was funny. Crystal J says, "I remember the Gap," and I remember they had Gas. Remember the shoes Gas? They said the name brand was called Gas.
I don't remember those.
And that was before high school, though. It was like junior high, I think. And me and the guy, we had been in middle school because we thought it was funny because it said Gas was imprinted on the bottom of the shoe. So when you're walking around, you're accumulating dust on the bottom of the shoe. So me and my friend thought it was funny if a girl was in front of us and we caught him bending over, we would take our foot and literally put our shoe on their butt. And we tried to make sure that the G wasn't showing, so it just said ass on their behind.
Uh-huh.
I did that, and of course I got busted doing that, and I was
Probably so.
taken out of school for a couple of days, and I had to talk with the principal. I was in the principal's office many times.
You know, some things don't change though, and I'm gonna tell you this. Krista can agree because she does it too.
Mm-hmm.
We wear Vans.
Yep.
Okay.
And have worn them forever since high school. Still wear them. They're still popular. And I love those shoes.
Yeah.
And I still like them today. I mean, everything else that I can think of, any fashion trend or even like a name brand is non-existent today. But Vans, they made it. Converse made it.
They still make them.
Yeah, Converse are still there.
What was the name of those tennis shoes? They start with a K.
K-Swiss?
No.
K-Swiss and girls wear a lot of.
I don't remember, Tex.
Was it like Kenny's shoe store?
No.
Buster Brown's, be careful.
Keds, K-E-D-S.
Keds.
No.
I don't know then.
Capas.
I don't remember those.
Yeah, I can't say I remember that one, Tex.
It may not have been, let's see.
I remember Buster Brown.
Mm-hmm.
My mom tried to get me to wear those. I said, no, thank you, Mom.
Right?
I got those when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was probably a little kid. I said I still had fashion sense when I was 6. I said, no, thanks.
No, thanks. Well, y'all, I hate to tell you this, but I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find something really quick, and I can't
goodness me.
I can't find it, so.
And I hate to cut everybody off, but I'm tired. I can leave.
We'll table
you can all keep talking.
They were called capas. We only wore the white ones, and they had double. When you laced them up, we put conchos in them.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to look that up because I'm on a few nostalgic websites, where they bring back the stuff from 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. I'm gonna have to look them up.
Yeah, because I don't know them either.
A lot. Some of them had double laces, so you tied them at about this far up, and then at usually where you tie them. So you had to tie your shoes twice.
Right.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I can't find what I'm looking for. I'll save it for another show.
Yeah.
There you go.
You guys been doing this 3 hours. Yeah, I'm kind of with Brandy. I'm about ready.
Right? I'm about ready
in the morning. Crash.
Right.
I have to manifest another dream tonight.
Right,
Brandy.
Yeah, you weren't on for the rest of my story from this morning.
Did you tell that already?
No, no. But there's the rest of my story.
Oh, well, I'll talk to you about that one. Yeah.
I'll talk to you tomorrow about it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight and just listening to us ramble. We like these kind of shows.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was fun.
I'm
glad I came on.
I did too.
I know
a good idea, Tex.
The audience loves it.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
We loved it too. And real quick shout outs to Pancho Zorge, Lanita Bryant, Maggie M10, and Paranormal Pixie. Thank all of you guys very much.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yep. We appreciate you all. And thanks for tuning in and listening to us ramble.
Yeah.
Now it's bedtime.
So we'll see you all next time.
All right. Until next time.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.